Happy time zone, fellow travelers, and welcome to another episode of Fast Travel, the show where we hop aboard the metaphorical GDQ plane to take in the sights, sounds, and of course, the speedruns from different regions around the world. My name is NickRPGreen. As you can see, I'm in my very festive garb today. I've got my Santa hat. I've got my Metal Gear Solid Christmas jumper. It's probably my favourite Christmas present from last year, so I'm glad I get to show it off on the GDQ channel. But I'm going to be your captain throughout our expedition across the world, visiting different regions and checking out the games that those regions have in store for us. This is our last episode before Christmas. We still have one more Christmas. We still have one more episode before the end of the year, though. We'll talk a little bit more about that later because there's something special with that one. But let's talk about today's episode. We have got two runners, and we are going to visit them all the way over in Singapore today. So complete change from where we've been before. So it's absolutely fantastic that we can head east and check out some of the games that Asia has to offer. Both of our Singapore runners are running games developed in Japan today. And this first one, you might look at the name of the game. I know there's a lot of hype in chat. This is a bit of a meme game, but it is developed in Japan. It seems really weird. But if you know the game and you've seen the cutscenes, you'd be like, this was developed in Japan? This seems like the most American thing I've ever seen. But I promise you, developed in Japan. And I have one of my friends here to showcase that game for you right now. So, it's kicking off our Singapore episode with Pepsiman. Take it away, Jonathan Irvings.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pepsiman. And thanks, Nick, for the introduction. Yeah, I'm very honored to open this episode with some Pepsiman. I saw a lot of hypes in the chat. And yeah, this game is obviously about this carbonated drink Pepsi and its superhero Pepsiman. Today we're going to play any percent. So I'm going to beat the game as fast as I can. That means I have to skip all the cutscenes, unfortunately. The cutscene is a bit of a meme in itself, but it's okay. I will try to explain what the game is about. Even though we won't play the cutscenes. But yeah, let's just jump into the game. I will explain the game and the mechanics of the speedrun as we go as well. So, ready for the countdown? Yep.
Let's do this. Ready when you are.
So yeah, time starts when I press the game start button in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go, Pepsiman.
Okay, yeah. Man, yeah, so this game is looks like a running game, kind of an auto-scroller, but like there is a set of buttons that I will mash here so that Pepsiman runs even faster. And even from the first level here, you can probably already see that I'm actually trying to avoid collecting these Pepsi cans, ironically. This is because at the end of every level, the game will count up the number of Pepsi cans that I collected. That means if I collect less Pepsi, the game will take less time for it to count up, which means less time, save time. There are some Pepsi cans that are pretty hard to avoid here in this section because I can't jump during this trash can section. Hopefully I can avoid, unfortunately that one can there, yeah. Those are some of the cans, hardest cans to avoid in this level, but it's okay, we move on. So the story about this game, or like this stage verse, I guess in particular, is like Pepsiman is supposed to save some thirsty people that needs Pepsi. So yeah, we're going to do that. But before that, let me just avoid all these obstacles here. Yeah, so each stage is comprised of like 2 scenes. The first scene is Pepsiman just going to drink Pepsi for himself so that he can gain his energy to do his superpower for the second scene. So that's the first scene done. Unfortunate with one can there. But it's okay. Yeah, and then every time I collect a can, it will say new record because the record is initially 0, so I lose a bit more time there, but it's fine. We move on. Okay, so second scene in the first stage where Pepsiman will actually save those people. And again, I'm going to try avoid all the cans here. This is one of the levels that is a bit easy to get canless. That's what we say, like literally collecting 0 cans. Okay, apologies for some property damage here. Managed to avoid all the cans there. And yeah, in this section, Pepsiman is rolling at the speed of Pepsi. This game is released before Sonic Adventure 2, by the way, in case you're wondering. I just say, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was not prepared for rolling at the speed of Pepsi.
Yeah, whenever Pepsiman is riding something like that skateboard, every hit there is an instant kill. So like I have to be a bit more careful there, otherwise I will lose a lot of time because I have to respawn the last checkpoint. But yeah, luckily nothing happened there. Okay, so yeah, these are the people that need Pepsi, and just by extending his arm like that, now these people has Pepsi in their hands and they're happy. Yeah, I guess that's Pepsiman's superpower. Okay, there's a cutscene here that unfortunately I have to skip, but this is kind of like a meme where like never skip cutscenes again because suddenly now Pepsiman is chased by a giant Pepsi can. Every third level in this level is a chase level, boss fight, whatever. This is an auto scroller because I cannot dash. The thing about this level is every time I got hit by an obstacle, Pepsiman will slow down. And if I got hit 3 times, Pepsiman will slow down enough that he will be crushed by whatever is chasing him, and I will have to restart the entire level. So hopefully that won't happen. The obstacles here are not random, like they are fixed where they are. So like, yeah, it's not very hard for like speedrunners. We know where they are. They won't be surprises to us. So yeah, that was pretty straightforward. So that is stage 1. There are 4 stages in this game, by the way. So like that's quarter of the game done, but later stages get more complicated. So yeah, how you guys feel so far with the game? Chad?
I'm loving it. As I've seen you run this before. It is always a delight seeing Pepsiman, and chat is clearly loving the Pepsi.
Yeah, so this is the
Hashtag
second
not
stage,
sponsored.
not sponsored, yeah. And fortunately, that Pepsi logo on the top left corner in the game there is small enough that we won't get demonetized. What was the rule? The Twitch rule, like 3% of the screen size cannot be logo or something. Like, is that still a thing?
I have no idea.
Coming out here, there will be a lot of falling beams and bottomless pits that I need to be a bit careful of. Obviously, these bottomless pits are instant kill, so I need to be a bit careful here. Oh, almost fall down there. Yeah, and the game likes to drop inputs, like, yeah. So if any of my jump input is dropped, like, yeah, you can imagine I will fall into the bottomless pit there. But that did not happen, see? So far, so good. Oh yeah, the story about this second stage is Pepsiman is supposed to save some people who are trapped in a burning building. And they are thirsty, and Pepsiman is supposed to give Pepsi and so on. So yeah, we will do that in the second scene of this stage. We'll go to the underground section here.
I love the priority. They're trapped in a burning building, but they're really thirsty.
Just give them Pepsi, yeah, instead of like save them, yeah. Okay, in this level, I'm going to try to avoid all the cans as well. Another level where canless, where it's pretty easy to get canless, I should say. Just smashing the dash button here. Try to there's a dash that was dropped there. Okay, all this time Pepsiman has been running on rails. This time we're going to do it literally. Oh, I almost collected a can there. Ooh, okay, so far so good. Okay, now Pepsiman is going to the overground section. Yeah, still 0 cans so far. This is good.
Slamming people out of the way.
Yeah, sorry about that. Don't do this at home. Yeah, another dash button was dropped there, and will he make it? Oh, he did not, but that's the end of the level. That's how you beat this level. And again, like, just by extending his arm like that before he fell down, like, he saved these people. Now these people have Pepsi in their hands. And they are still trapped in the roof, but priorities, right? Again, this is another chase level. Another pretty straightforward chase level. The thing about this chase level is there are obstacles like over Pepsiman's head, so like I cannot just mash the jump button because like I will get hit by something at the top. But yes, again, the placement of these obstacles are not random; they are all fixed. So should be still pretty straightforward. Commentator's curse. No, there's no such thing as commentator's curse. What am I saying? Yes, but that's about half of the game done. 2 more stages to this game. What is the chat saying?
Escaped from the definitely not a Coca-Cola truck.
Yeah. That was a suspiciously red truck, yeah. Coming to stage 3 here, so...
That makes more sense than being chased by a giant Pepsi can. The Coca-Cola trying to kill Pepsi makes sense.
There's no reason Pepsi is mad at us, yeah. So this level, there is probably the biggest skip in this game coming up after the first checkpoint. So I will focus a little bit on that. So coming up here, Okay, got it first try. Nice. So so now you will see a long, boring road with nothing but Pepsi cans. It's because the intended way to beat this section is I'm supposed to wait patiently behind that truck that I just skipped, and that truck will like drop logs at me, and I'm supposed to like avoid that log. But because unfortunate with one can there. But because like I'm supposed to like wait behind the truck, I am not supposed to dash, and that is just a lot boring, slow section. So like we found a way to like intentionally got hit by the log, and then during diaphragm we abused diaphragm to skip the truck basically. And glad I got it first try. It's not as easy as it looks. The window is pretty tight, and there is like a special setup so that I got a very short hit animation as well to make sure that I can basically dash as soon as I can. And glad I got it first try. But otherwise, I was actually trying to get canless in this level. Unfortunate with that one can, well, it's okay. Getting one can and canless is about 2.5, 3 seconds difference. Because like even if you collect one can, there is a new record message that will be displayed right about now. Yeah, see, this new record message that takes a bit like around 3 seconds. And meanwhile, if you don't collect any cans at all, that new record message won't show up. But it's okay. We move on. The story about this stage is Pepsiman is supposed to save some people who are stranded in the middle of a desert. And you can probably already see the desert now. And we will do that in this level.
I think this game teaches all speedrunners a very valuable lesson. The drinking Pepsi makes you slower.
Drink some Pepsi is good, but not too much. And in this section, again, whenever Pepsiman is riding something, if I got hit by any of these obstacles, it's an instant death. And this last bridge in particular is also very narrow. And okay, I got it. So coming up is the mine section, and this checkpoint right here is the last checkpoint in the level. And there's still a long way to go. So like if I got hit by any of these boulders or like fall down into a pit, that's an instant death, and I will have to restart the entire section. Hopefully that will not happen. Again, there's no such thing as commentator's curse.
As I say, it's worth noting there's no health bar or anything like that. Is any mistake and it's an instant back to the last checkpoint?
Not necessarily. Yeah. That Pepsi logo there on the top left is actually like a health bar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Commentator's cartoon.
There we go.
Yeah, so if I got
I'll
hit
take that one.
by a non-lethal thing, I will just deplete my health bar, and that logo is actually like a 3-hit kind of thing. Like every time I got hit, that logo will become smaller, and if I got hit 3 times, Pepsiman will die, and I will have to respawn at the last checkpoint. But there are some like things that will kill Pepsiman instantly. Yeah, fortunately, I only got hit by the beam there and not fall down. So yeah, I don't need to restart that entire section. Yeah, but still, that slows down a little bit because like of the hit animation and so on. But yeah, not too bad. Probably I lost about like 2 seconds maybe there. It's fine. So the third chase level is I'm chased by a pile of logs. Sure, why not, right? And you might notice here that the obstacle, the thing that might hit Pepsiman actually comes from the chaser itself. That means like whenever I got hit, because Pepsiman will get closer to the enemy, the rest of the level will become harder. And this chase level in particular has caused me problems in the past. So hopefully that won't happen today. Basically if I got hit even once, the rest of the level becomes much harder. Like I will have less time to react basically. So far so good. That did not happen. So great. So
nice.
The third stage. We only have one more stage, the final stage. And again, the patterns are not random there, where they will throw logs at me. So like, yeah, if you got it memorized, then it's very straightforward. I still do not memorize it actually, like despite many hours running this game. But at least I know like there won't be surprises or anything. So yeah. So the final stage, we will do another truck skip here in this level. It saves less time than what we did in 3-1 because the road that we are going to skip is shorter. So yeah, that hit is intentional because I'm going to abuse the iframe to skip this section. Saves like 4 seconds, I think, in this level.
No, not the Pepsi truck.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pepsi branded things here.
This is wild
Pepsi
on the
balls.
eyes. I imagine this is what a Coke executive's nightmare looks like.
Like just Pepsi everywhere.
It's a whole city of Pepsi.
Okay,
On the other hand, as I said at the top, this is a Japanese developed game, so I imagine this is just what Japan thinks America looks like.
Yep. Coming up is the last non-chase level, I should say, in the game. For this 2, it's definitely the hardest level in the game. And what's even worse is I'm going to attempt getting canless. So let me focus a little bit. The first section, specifically where you'll see a lot of conveyor belts, is very tricky. Any hit that I can get here, like, can kill me instantly because, like, the conveyor belt might push me to like bottomless pits. So let me focus a bit on the first section here. And still trying to avoid all the cans.
So chat's now informing me that I'm wrong, and this is actually what America looks like.
Oh.
Ooh.
Fortunately, that's one of the friendlier hit because there's no pits around there, so that's good. Okay, a checkpoint. So we are clear from that section. This pipe, also not the easiest thing in the world. They are located slightly tight around each other. Need to control my jump properly. The game just needs a jump input. Yeah, as I mentioned before, this game just likes to drop input. It's okay. I'm surprised that did not happen earlier though. like in 2-1, specifically in the bridge section. But yeah, that can easily happen.
Nice.
Okay, that section is done. Coming up is the final section in the level. This is definitely the hardest section in the game. Whenever you're doing this casually or speed running, there's no difference because like I can't speed up or slow down in this section, and these doors are getting narrower and narrower. So you need to be very focused, especially on the last two doors here. Okay, first try.
Oh, that's tight.
That's clean.
That was very nice.
So
Well done.
Death, not too bad. Yeah, and Pepsiman just spray Pepsi into computers and suddenly the computers fixes itself. I don't know. That's just the logic of this game. Yeah.
That's Pepsi logic.
That's Pepsi logic. Coming up is the final chase level. The giant Pepsi can decides to have another try at us, but this time they will throw smaller Pepsi cans, of course, right? Why not, right? Yeah. In this, yeah, if you pay very close attention to this level, you will see a very smooth product placement. See whether you can spot it. Yeah. Obviously, I'm kidding. This level has the most APM advertisement per minute. You will see giant Pepsi cans line up on the side of the street. Giant Pepsi cans that is trying to crush us, smaller Pepsi cans thrown at us, and if that's not enough, there's like Pepsi branded mailbox there. Yeah. You will see it again. There's so many Pepsi branded mailbox. Yeah, there you go on the left. Yep. But yeah, otherwise this chase level, similar to the previous one, if I got hit, the rest of the levels becomes a bit harder. But should be fun. Oh, time is coming up in the next 5 seconds or so after I beat this level. So get ready with time. And time!
Woo!
Is that sub 19? I think so, right?
Let's have...
It's probably close to 19. What time did I get?
Let's have a look. It's not quite sub 19, 1903.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Very close to sub 9. That was a very good run. Well done. We do get a little sneak peek at what the content of the cutscenes would have been.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everybody Pepsi. Pepsi. Only my choice.
I love this game so much. It's so dumb. That was fantastic, Jonathan. Tell us more.
Yeah, so yeah, first of all, thanks Nick for amazing host, and thanks for the GDQ staff for letting me run this game as well. Yeah, glad to be here, and yeah, and thanks for the shout out to the Pepsiman community as well that found all these amazing strats. Yeah, and you can find me in twitch.tv/JonathanIrvinGS, in Twitter or Discord, same username as well. I occasionally run this game and some other games as well. Yeah, so check that out, and yeah, have a Pepsi, everyone, and yeah, thanks for having me again. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much for that run, Jonathan. Just such a meme game. Chat has been absolutely on fire with it. Chat, please give your appreciation to Jonathan Irvings. Go throw him a follow over on his Twitch channel. Especially if you want to watch some more Pepsiman at some point. But the other thing I want everyone to do, let's meme the heck out of the GDQ Discord server. I want you to type !Discord into the chat, get the link to the Discord server, and let's just flood the Discord server with as much Pepsiman as we can possibly post and confuse the heck out of anyone who's not here. Rolling around at the speed of Peps. Hello, welcome back to Fast Travel, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that awesome run of Pepsiman by Jonathan Irvings. And yeah, I was definitely not trying to come up with more lyrics to any songs. It's all good. It's all good. So we are in Singapore this week. And we have another runner from Singapore coming up very shortly. But I do want to remind everyone And we are now less than 1 month away from the start of AGDQ 2026. Oh, live from Pittsburgh, PA, from January 4th to the 10th. Now, registration is still available through now through the event. So be sure to register if you want to go. You can just head over to gdq.gg for more info. It's going to be an amazing event. I can't wait. Unfortunately, I'll be watching it from home because, you know, UK, but it's going to be absolutely amazing, and I hope as many of you get to enjoy it in person as you can. Anyway, let's get on to our second run of the night. This is another Japanese developed game, Hi-Fi Rush, and we have Boltclock, who's brought along a couple of friends to provide some commentary. So, gentlemen, take it away.
Hi, I'm Bolt, and I'm a Hi-Fi Rush runner from Singapore. I'm really honored to be representing our little red dot on Hotfix today, along with Jonathan, whose Pepsiman runs are always a treat to watch. Now, before anything else, yes, the clock you see is showing my local time. And yes, that strawberry clock in the background for anyone who might recognize him. Alright, so Hi-Fi Rush is a rhythm action game, and it boils down to you beat up robots with a guitar to the beat of the music. I previously commentated for Drake Le Lion Blanc running Record Percent a month ago at Games Done Queer, which covered the first 2 stages, and it's a shorter category. Today, I'll be running any percent unrestricted, so you'll be seeing the full game. And the unrestricted category features a game-breaking glitch that I'm going to keep a surprise until you see it later on in the run. And joining me on commentary today are Fletcher and Moist Rock. Moist Rock is not only a fellow Hi-Fi runner, but he's also Singaporean, and so I think it's really special having the both of us be hosting this run today. So if Fletcher and Moist Rock, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, you got it. Hi, everyone. I am Fletcher Zafuri, but you can call me Fletcher. I am not from Singapore, but I'm very glad to be included here as a guest on this flight of the GDQ jet that I hear is going to be ferrying a lot of people to AGDQ very soon. Hi-Fi Rush is an awesome game that I really, really enjoyed casually, and I am super excited to be here helping commentate it. I also have a couple of what I'm calling Fletch facts for throughout the run that we'll pepper in. Over to you, Moist.
Yeah, hello guys. My name is Moist Rock, fellow Singaporean here, based in the US though. Hi-Fi Rush is definitely a special game to me. I actually ran this in GDQ, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3. Honestly, time's flying by at this point. But yeah, I have spent hundreds of hours on this game, so if there's any technical facts I can give about this game, then I'm here for it. And of course, Bolt is going to crush this run. So take it away.
Yeah, so we'll be running any percent unrestricted on the easy difficulty. I won't be speaking for most of the run, so I'll be counting on Fletcher and Moist Rock to cover for me.
We got you. You're going to kill it.
So timer will start at in the first stage as soon as we gain control of Chai. So let's hop in.
Good luck, Bolt.
Thank you.
Yep, you're gonna kill it.
Where's that? Don't worry.
All right,
Probably
time
no
to
big
start
deal.
in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so starting off here, this is just the very opening sequence of the game. So right now, we're just learning basic movement, just knowing how to run and knowing how to jump and then double jump. And so very early on, you'll see there's a lot of cutscene skipping in this game, and that's going to be tied to his B button. So something important to note is that the cutscene skips are actually dependent on the timing of the game. So the beat of this game is a 4/4 time signature, and so ideally you want to hit the skip as soon as you can, which will always be in beat with the music. And we're on to our first course right here. So the way we like to differentiate the courses and the tracks, courses are going to be the stages, and then tracks are going to be the levels. Sorry, I should say courses are actually the fights. And so right now, Bolt is going to try and, oh, sorry, my bad, it's been a while. We actually have a second set of robots we have to fight, and these are going to be tutorial bots, which are actually weaker than the rest of the robots that will be in the rest of the stage. So I believe it takes around 4 just time hits, which we are actually being taught about right now.
You all want to see it in action? Let's start with a light attack, a 1-beat attack that quickly connects combos.
And these attacks, like pretty much everything in the game, are going to, again, need to be on the beat. This is a hack and slash that is also a rhythm game, so your hits will be on the beat, a lot of our dashes will be on the beat. You'll notice that Shy's animations, his idols, all the background, everything in this game is to the beat.
And so this is where a lot of the skill expression comes in, as well as just having a good sense of rhythm. So the reason why we want to hit these just timing attacks is because it mainly does, I believe, a 1.5 damage multiplier to our attacks. So especially in these first 2 courses of the level, these bots are going to take around 3 to 4 just timing hits to destroy. So being able to get that is obviously going to be faster for the run, and while you can technically just mash, it's just less optimal, and then you're going to end up wasting more time as it takes more hits to kill these robots. And right here, we're learning about heavy attacks. Heavy attacks are slower than the light attacks. They take 2 beats per measure, but they do more damage. And as you can see, the game is just going to be testing Bolt's timing, of course. They can easily hit it because they are a beast. And also something important to note later on in this run is that you don't just spam light, 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 or heavy, heavy, heavy attacks. We are going to learn different combos in the middle of the run, and they will provide different properties such as crowd control, pulling in robots, and being able to just have wider and stronger range for, oh, just like that. That is the heavy, light, light combo. So Chai will throw his guitar forward, and then he will end with a laser beam attack, which is going to be very useful for, I believe, course 5. And what we see here, oh, and they hit the skip. So this was something I tried to do in my previous run, but I failed. So basically there's an invisible wall on top of the physical wall, and if you time your air dash, right as a certain time, the invisible wall will drop, and you can actually skip the wall, physical wall from dropping. So it saves around 2 to 3 seconds. And something also important to mention is that during the anniversary patch, we actually did lose out on a pretty big skip here, which would be course 3. So originally before, you could actually get on top of the roof, and then you would have to do a photo mode skip, which I'm not sure we actually do that anymore, but we would have been able to skip this fight and then go straight into our upgrade with 808. But unfortunately, we do have to do this fight, which is only 9 seconds.
And I believe there will be a photo mode skip showing up a little bit later on.
And I guess I should clarify also, we can't, this fight, if you skip it, you do soft lock yourself. You're not able to actually access the 808 building. So yeah, it's just a minor detour. It added probably like 30 seconds to a minute, but overall, not the worst thing to happen.
And a piece of tech that you'll see coming up in not too long and will be used all throughout the run is what is called a CJS, or a Coyote Jump Storage. This is a technique that shows up in a number of games. The idea of Coyote time is essentially that the computer knows exactly when we left a ledge, but our puny human eyes, we might think we're still on the ledge when we've technically gone off of it. So a lot of game designers will give you a little bit of leniency that lets you still jump even when you've technically left the ledge. That is something that we can take advantage of here because we can essentially dash back onto the geometry that we were just leaving, and the game thinks we're still in midair but have our jump, and that lets us double jump in a variety of places to do some really cool skips and avoid some courses entirely.
And right now we have just got 808, our cat companion, and also our metronome. As you can see visually, 808 is just going to blink to the beat of the music, and in the accessibility options, you can change the visuals of how 808 is blinking. But yeah, this is just something very useful in order to visually see what the beat of the music is, because the tempos of all these tracks that we're going to be playing later on, they are not going to be consistent. There are going to be some slower tracks, there are going to be some fast tempos and slow tempos. So just having this, being able to see visually what the beat is like is very helpful.
Hey, so offer reconsidered, but I'm gonna borrow your
And right here is going to be track 5, which is going to have a specific set of attacks. I'll see if these are the same ones that we use, but it probably should be.
bring it on.
Okay, yep. So this combo, that's the light, heavy, light combo. So instead of twirling the guitar just straight forward, Chai is able to crowd control all the enemies and pull them into a condensed space. So that is very good for that section because obviously all the enemies are spread out there. You do it again, and we end off with a AoE burst like a cone. We're gonna have 2 more enemies spawning here. We're gonna do the straightforward beam. This is gonna be the heavy, light, light, and that is a very consistent way of dealing with these enemies.
To give folks an idea of where we are story-wise, we are playing as Chai, who is coming here to Vandalay Industries Island campus to get a robot arm via Project Armstrong. He had a not very functional arm. Now he has a more functional arm, but due to some shenanigans, his MP3 player ended up fused with his chest, which is the explanation for why everything is now to the beat. And because the employees at Vandalay are a little bit regressive, they are trying to eliminate this quote-unquote defect, and we are fighting all the robots, and soon all of their bosses, all the bigwigs of the company.
And just as we saw there, this game has a very generous respawn system. So there are going to be instances and for some skips where we can actually trigger the respawn point from either across the ledge, vertically, horizontally. And actually right now we are going to see our first instance of Coyote jump storage. And they got it first.
Nicely done. That was so clean.
So it's also important to note for Coyote jump storage, you do get a double jump in midair, but you cannot press the jump button to start the double jump, if that makes sense. So for at least this beginning level, we actually use the dash heavy command, since that actually lifts Chai into the air and is not considered the jump action. So you just do dash heavy, you're in the air, and then press attack to reset Chai's state, and then you can get essentially actually a triple jump, I should probably say. But yeah, insane height there, and you're gonna be seeing that a lot more during this run. But right now, we are gonna be in a bit of an auto scroller section as soon as Chai drops down right here.
In which case, this is a great opportunity for the first Fletch fact. I'll need to figure out some sort of jingle for that. So we have that cat companion named 808. 808, for those unfamiliar, is the name of a very popular drum synthesizer. It's used in a lot of music even today, but it actually initially flopped at release because it was so expensive that most folks couldn't afford it. And it was only when it kind of flooded like pawn shops and secondhand shops that it got into the hands of much more musicians and became as well known as it is today.
And perfect timing, because now we are being introduced to our first super of the game. So, as you can see now above Chai's health bar, there is a white bar, but it's going to be auto-filled here, where Chai gets access to a very high damage solo, or usually a single target super, where he just spins in midair like a Beyblade. Power cord, my beloved. And of course, right here, we get some extra batteries. So batteries are going to be scattered out throughout the run, and you can also get them from enemies by completing combos. But right now, it's a very high-intense skip that's being performed here.
Wait for it.
And just like that, we performed
let's
the
go.
LMAO skip. All thanks to Flowey for finding that one. And as easy as that looks, the trigger for that fight is surprisingly a lot closer. You have to hug it in a very specific way where you're on top of that little pillar, but both expertly positions themselves. And right now we're doing actually a very hard skip. Nice. Performing 2 CGSs
Beautiful.
And then getting on top of those pylons. And right now we can essentially skip this entire auto scroll section. And I believe we're skipping 2 to 3 courses. Although we have to carefully maneuver our way on top of this building because not everything is solid. It's mainly just the roofs of this building. And if there's ever a case where you are out of bounds and you fall through the floor, you are soft blocked and you are be forced to do was referred to as a double reload. But we probably will not have to refer to that because Bolt is doing this traversing, like finally. Yep, on top of the side here. Top of the roof. And so they'll need to go to the boss arena and then go backwards in order to trigger the fight.
So clean.
And
excellent job.
Perfect.
Let's rock, big boy.
That was awesome.
And here we are, our first boss fight, QA1 mil. So, something important to note for these boss fights, as it is a rhythm game, we can skip a lot, but then their game also does not want to skip a whole lot. So, in this case, even if you damage and deplete one of the quarter of the health bars, unfortunately, the track needs to play a certain amount, or I guess the song I should say, it needs to play a certain amount of time before you can actually progress. But while you wait, you can build up extra super meter, just get your combo damage up, which will be good for getting some achievements, which do actually impact the run quite a bit. But right now, yeah, this fight is as simple as you can get. Just hit the hands and trigger the QTE.
And in case you're wondering, this is an accurate depiction of what it's like for games QA testing, actually. It looks just like this.
Also, something important to note for this particular fight, so we will not impair Bolt's ability to play. They are going to be aiming for a perfect fight. So in other words, taking no damage. And we will explain that as soon as this fight is over. All right, another QTE. Actually, no, never mind. Saving the meter for the next phase, which is pretty smart. Here we go. So luckily, this last phase is actually, well, this is technically phase 3, but it condenses both phase 3 and phase 4 together. And also important to note, the reason why we want to do the QTE is because you can see QA1 mil's face is already half broken. So if you break you break the faces, then you do more damage if you hit the weak point. Yep, disable the hands. Yep, QTE part 2.
And the weak point is very conveniently labeled just in case you didn't recognize that it might have been exactly what it says on the tin.
Literally say weak point on a
It might not be green paint, but it is green neon text, so you know what?
It's close enough.
Also, I could say green, I might say yellow. I might be colorblind.
No worries.
All right. And we are, yep, here we are. We are time gated right now because of the song. A few more hits. Ooh, okay, this is actually unfortunate. So, unfortunately, sometimes QA1 mil can do attacks like the laser beam where he is just way too far for trying to hit. So, Bolt got griefed by RNG. That is not their fault for being stuck here. And we're just dashing at this point because, again, we cannot progress. This is insane. We got hit by double laser.
That's rough.
There we go. And we will see right here when the credits come up, or the score, I should say. Oh, okay. That's... There are backups around this. So, I think Bolt got hit during the second phase, if I'm not mistaken, by the Thunder Hands, which is a really annoying move to try to avoid. So, if they had gotten a perfect fight, they would have gotten a star next to the final score. And the reason why we wanted to do that is because there's an achievement behind at the Wall of Fame there. So achievements in this game are important for this run because they grant you extra bolts. And we're pausing there just to see what our count is, right? So we're at 10K. So we will be going for most likely Stomp Box, which is going to be a combo attack. Also, this is Peppermint, by the way. She's our companion who is just going to be yapping about all the mechanics that I am just going to be yapping about too. So we're one and the same, essentially. But yeah, we are just going to be aiming for a Stomp Box combo, most likely. Probably one super upgrade. We'll see.
I see.
Yep, just going to have a lot more unskippable text, so just a lot of spamming on the A button.
Yeah, I'm going with Stompbox.
Okay, yeah.
Radical.
So, for context for Stomp Box is, at least in my opinion, one of the most overpowered combos in this game. Although it is slow, it's a heavy, light, heavy combo. So the way the Stomp Box works is Chai will throw his guitar on the ground that does minimal damage, but then he goes into the air, and then he basically creates a nuke that does a ton of damage. It essentially one-shots all of the weaker enemies. The weak enemies in this case are considered the sword bots and the gunners. And right now, we are going to stage 2.
Try to keep a low profile.
Come on, 808.
And some of our upgrades that we're grabbing are going to be for the purposes of more damage or more sort of splash damage to get through those courses faster. We also are going to be getting a little bit of upgrades to help our allies, as well as to help us platform better, because some of these attacks have different behaviors with how vertical we get on them, letting us further augment what we can jump and skip over.
And right now you can see we're actually performing a very, I would say, a pretty safe skip. There's a few scary parts where you can fall through, but this routing has been done multiple times, so there should be no problems. We just skipped course 1 there. That fight would have introduced, or actually doesn't introduce, there's going to be a bunch of gunner bots, a bunch of sword bots, which is just very annoying. Although we do need to store a CGS here. Oh, okay, that was good, that was good. So what we just did there is a referred to as a deload. So in some areas of the map, if you are at certain heights, outbound specifically, you can actually deload the entire level, and then once you're inbounds, you can just stall with a few air attacks, and then it should reload the entire level. Kind of scary, because if you accidentally press something incorrectly, then you can just fall through the map and do a double reload, but that's not going to happen here. A nice little skip across the ledge.
And this is now going to introduce our grappling hook, because it's not a good game unless it has a grappling hook. This will be used for a lot of required platforming throughout the game. It will also be super critical for us to position in various fights. It will help us get closer to enemies. It will help us reach enemies that are maybe a bit more out of the way, like ones that are flying. It will help us get backstabs on enemies that are protected from the front, and all kinds of useful stuff.
And as much as we talked about the combat applications of the grapple hook, we're not going to see that because we're just skipping the next fight, as per usual. So this is actually a post-game content, what's called route that you go. That flame is going to be a partner-specific area that you have to do during New Game Plus, but it's all good because of respawn system. But yeah, so we can just skip that second fight, which does introduce the shield enemy. And right there, this is a new route that we are using, where we're actually getting a another super that we are going to access during the third stage. Just gotta wait for the event. And I guess while we're doing this, I'll explain that attack that we just got. So our super that we have right now is decent. It does huge single target damage, but the one that we just got, Chai gets to ride on his guitar like a skateboard, and so he can gather up small enemies together. It'll essentially act as a magnet as soon as they touch it, and it just does a lot of damage. So it just ends up clearing fights a lot faster just because of how much, because of the AoE capabilities and just the damage scaling. You have these little cute transitions mid-fight as it resets Chai's position, and then new set of enemies spawn. And right there, that's that big orange enemy right there. That's the big sword bot. So in this game, enemies are color-coded. So orange enemies are going to be your basic units, no gimmicks, no specialties there. Later on, we'll see different colors of the rainbow. We'll see blue, green, red. Yeah, I believe it's just those three. And we'll go into those more later when they get introduced.
Popping up periodically, you'll see at the bottom right, we're getting those alerts about kind of achievement progress. Those are the challenges for the aforementioned Wall of Fame, which will get us some of the gears that we need to get some of the abilities that we want to speed up our combat and our transportation throughout the game.
And right now, we just got a lot more platforming to do. We can just skip a lot of the verticality just by jumping on some lampposts like that. And I believe this next course is the triple... Nope, never mind. Sorry. This is going to be actually one of the more annoying fights in the game. So yeah, as you can see, there's 5 enemies that spawn, but they're just everywhere. And that's the first use of Stomp Blocks. We got pretty lucky there because the gunner bots ran towards Chai. So something important to know about fights are that enemies have consistent attack patterns. Their AI is not consistent in their movement. So sometimes gunner bots do like to run at Chai, but usually most of the time they like to run away. A 20-second fight for this
This is the fastest
arena.
I've ever done this fight.
Yeah, that was really good RNG.
Yeah.
A bit more platforming here.
Notably,
We're gonna collect some
Vandalay does
bolts.
not have OSHA.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do a bit of outway routing just because we didn't get the bolts from the no damage achievement. But hey, we have backup routes for a reason. And right now, this is probably one of the more chill arenas of the fights or of this run, because we are just gonna spawn camp these gunner bots that keep coming up in this middle.
We got a little bit more of a story dump a moment ago. What we're going to find out over the course of this level is that there is a program called Spectra that Vandalay Industries is working on to essentially mind control the people that they are giving their implants to, like Chai. That will turn into our motivation for going through, defeating all the bosses of Vandalay Industries to take their passwords and stop that from happening.
And right now coming up is going to be another notoriously long arena, which is really annoying because, again, a lot of the enemies are just going to spawn away from each other, and the biggest bane of this run's existence are the gunner bots. But we'll see how RNG plays here. Alright, nice. That's 2 gunner bots out of the way. It's also important to note that sword enemies are definitely the easiest to deal with because they will always run at Chai, just straightforward. So there's no problem in just letting them run at him while we run at the gunner bots. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
It's important to note that canonically, Chai cannot play guitar currently. He's really just vibing.
But he definitely can smack it, or at least smack enemies with it.
That's true. The guitar,
there we go.
incidentally, is the result of his magnetic arm. He's pulling together a magnetic guitar from scrap or something. Just go with it.
Although visually, I believe that there's the ranking system that you see on the right corner, and so as you play these fights, the higher your rank goes, visually Chai's guitar actually becomes a real guitar, which is really nice attention to detail.
It's super cool.
And right now we got a just a like 1 minute auto scroller where we just do some magnet riding, but there's also a good time and opportunity to collect some more bolts that we're gonna need to buy some more upgrades.
Great example here of some of the really seamless transitions they have in this game between cutscenes and different camera angle sections with that little cloud of smoke. Super well done. I can also drop Fletch Fact number 2. So far, the characters that we have been introduced to that are on our side, we got Chai and we have Peppermint, respectively played by Robbie Damon and Erica Lindbeck. This is actually not the first game that they acted together in, because they voice acted together in Persona 5. Robbie Damon plays Goro Akechi in that game, and Erica Lindbeck plays Futaba Sakura in English.
That was almost perfect.
And what Bull is referring to is just the timings on the QTE prompts. Just one miss, but overall a really solid auto scroller section. And now, just like Futaba, sorry, I'm blanking on names. Peppermint is going to be another helpful companion. Yeah, it just happens. Long day.
They're both very technically proficient, kind of hackery characters. So,
yeah, Hi-Fi Rush Persona collab.
Ooh.
But anyway, a blue color wall and a blue color character. This is what is going to be introduced now in the run, where Peppermint is going to be both our companion for traversing the level and also just doing a ton of damage on enemies. So actually I've not seen this skip before. Okay, so we do a that is a air heavy in the air, but because we're in a float state, we're actually able to refresh our jump. Wow, that was a very cool skip. we're just able to skip some more platforming here. So, oh wow, and they get the instant shot on the. Ooh, nice, good timing.
Nice.
We got the instant shot on the trigger.
This is part of Peppermin's other utility. She'll be able to shoot out those shield walls. She'll be able to damage enemies with shields and also shoot various items in the environment that we need to progress.
And coming up here, we are going to be introduced to our first blue enemy. So blue enemies in this game are always going to spawn with a shield. And so what do we do against blue shields? We call in Peppermint. The only bad part about that is they require around 2 calls. Sometimes they require 1 with a few specific upgrades. But yep, this is just we refer to this enemy as the Blue Crusher, just because they are a physical based enemy. And as you saw, we have our supercharged. And so with this next spawn, do a bit of damage before the shield actually spawns. And should be dead. And of course, wouldn't it be an annoying arena without one gunner enemy?
And the gunners, you'll see us make really good use. I say us. You're going to see Bolt make really good use of that grappling hook because they tend to want to position a little bit away from you to use their ranged attack, therefore making them super annoying.
And a little nuanced fact about combat in this game, specifically relating to supers. So super meter does not carry over in between rounds, or I guess after a fight is finished. So ideally, you just want to be able to use your super in a fight when given the opportunity. However, you can still gain the batteries from enemies that you defeat later on as long, because it'll be magnetized to Chai. So you can manipulate the timing of enemy deaths in order to carry a bit of super meter over to the next arena fight in order to get your super faster. And right now, we're introduced to the gunner bots. These guys, a little annoying because sometimes the tracking of Chai's attacks can be a little scuffed, but all it takes is 1 grapple and it takes 1 light into 1 heavy attack. Like that.
There we see the real guitar from that excellent chorus.
And back to scrap it goes. And we have another small auto-scroller. It doesn't take that long. Also, if you see at the bottom there, he's got a robot who's on their 15-minute break. Unfortunately, we have tried to find many ways of skipping this room, but it just cannot be done. A few extra big battery or bolts right there for some extra currency. Another blue wall. Okay, so we actually are going to go for an upgrade here. We are going to get... Alright, we're going to get one of Peppermint's upgrades. So, I believe that one that we just got, correct me if I'm wrong, but that one should be the... I believe it's one of the combo enders for...
Yes, I think it's a ground combo.
Yes, so as long as Peppermint is available and not on cooldown, if Chai completes any kind of combo, light, heavy, whatever it is, you'll actually get a different prompt where it's going to be a blue outline. And it's going to, if you press it on time, then Peppermint is actually going to show up and do an extension attack. And the benefit of doing that is, 1, you get a bit more damage, you can destroy blue shields because Peppermint, of course, is attacking. And 2, Peppermint's cooldown is going to be a lot shorter if you do it that way. So there are many benefits of actually just doing the combo ender with the partner extension rather than just spamming Peppermint calls. And right now,
some beautiful out of bounds movement happening. That was so quickly executed.
Yep. And this is what we call reception skip because that we're right on top of course, I believe 10. And here we go, the elevator.
We do need to adjust the frame rate because some aspects of the collision are frame rate dependent, and then you get this hilarious jumping move.
This one is a little rough. Yeah, this one you have to at least time, or at least count up to like 8, 9 jumps, and then you have to time the last jump to hit this corner. It's fine, it's fine.
Oh.
You got this. Yeah, the collision here is really funky because you're essentially hugging one corner, and then you have to move Chai out of the corner and then hit the side of the square. We saved it.
We get some vibes in chat. Come on.
There we go.
Yeah.
We have to mention, we have to take the safety route there and just always land back, because again, a lot of the invisible floor below us, if Bolt ends up missing that platform, then we would have to do a double reload, but we are not wasting any more time with that. And this is the first instance of photo mode skip.
So you'll see that by using photo mode, we appear to be just walking in place, but if you look carefully, you might have seen that there are some VFX that were ahead of us that indicate what our actual location is, and boom, we're reloading directly into Rekka's arena with that.
Yep, and we have to move the camera out there specifically because we need to deload that wall in order to get past it. And yeah, we kind of glossed over it, but this is Rekka. This is the first actual boss of the game. Also, unfortunately, this, because of the nature of this fight, it's fairly easy, but we are going to be time gated just by the music. That right there is Rekka's dash attack. There's a lot of unique interactions with this fight in particular. So with that long dash, normally she performs 3 short dashes in sequence, but if you make her hit the pipe on the wall, it actually stuns her, which is going to be very useful.
And during this fight, Bolt will be attempting to get a number of 100-hit combos. That goes back to those challenges on the Wall of Fame that we mentioned in order to help our gears routing. We get a bunch of cash if we can manage those 300-hit combos.
And even if they can't hit the 3 100-hit combos, there still is the opportunity of getting, I believe, 5 50-hit combos, which is generally a lot easier to do in this fight, because Peppermint is going to keep building up around 10 to 15 hits just with her short laser blasts. Unfortunately, this is a really annoying part of Rekka's fight. She has empowered herself with electricity. Normally, you could just avoid it by using the grapple hook, but it's not worth the time waste, so we're just going to keep smacking her and just keep building up the combo meter right now. Bit of taunting. And there we go. And now we're on to phase 3 of the fight, which starts off with a little, I don't know how you would describe this, like, not cookie runner, but, you know, like one of those like mobile games where you have to just dodge left and right.
It really does have that vibe, doesn't it? It's Subway Surfers, the boss phase.
Subway Surfers, that's the game. Man, I'm getting cold. But yeah. Also, a little fun fact, this sequence of attacks on different difficulties changes. So if you're doing like the expert one, she just throws a ton more than what she is right now, which is kind of crazy to think about. And now we do have a few extra attacks that Rekka has. This one is a little annoying. She just pulls out 2 of the pipes from the wall, and then she's going to keep slamming at Chai. And something important to note also is that her animation for grabbing the pipes has a hitbox too, so you can accidentally lose your combo counter if you get too close or you don't time to dodge on time.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Oh, anyone playing Potemkin in Guilty Gear?
I dodged that.
Heavenly Potemkin Buster. But yeah, Rekka, if she was in a fighting game, would be the equivalent of a grappler. Really annoying, but you know, oh. And just like most grapplers, she has short range when she does that. So you can just dodge it, you get out of range, and then it has long recovery. And luckily also, we don't have to deal with another transition. We can just go straight into, what's it called? You can just go straight into the next phase and last one. And here we go. This is the Peppermint combo ender. Sorry, I couldn't really say much there. A little lag, but everything's all good now. And now we are just simply locked out again, just because of the time sync. So just have to do a bit more dodging. We have Peppermint on call whenever the song is about to finish. Oh, that's unlucky timing.
No.
Yeah, Rekka can spawn a shield. This is one of these shields that actually does require 2 full blasts from Peppermint. There we go.
Nicely done.
Don't we just love RNG-based attacks that just lose you a little bit of time every time?
And that'll be a theme for a handful of bosses throughout the game. Not every boss, but it does pop up.
Yeah, and some levels don't even have bosses at the end of the level. So hey. So yeah, that's Rekka right there, and that is stage 2. So far, so good.
This is now where we'll take advantage of that wall of fame to get ourselves a few more gears to afford more upgrades.
Unfortunately, with the wall of fame, you are forced to watch these little reveals of what is on the wall. But, you know, it's just a few seconds for large reward. We're at a whopping 54k bolts right now to spend.
Boost some of your abilities.
These chips that we are mentioning and that we are yapping about are minor upgrades to Chai and his partners. So some of these upgrades can be damage to supers, damage to his attacks, combos, and then eventually, if you want to buy some, there are partner upgrades, reduces their cooldown time, has special abilities. But for the most part, we are going to not buy any of these just because it's not as important. But we might as well equip this one because we're given the opportunity to.
Upgrades, you can mix and match skills. So bring me back any Armstrong parts you find, would you?
And Peppermint is not our only ally. We'll get more over the course of the run. And besides their specific mechanics that we'll get into, they are just nice for being able to pour more damage into our combos.
And as you see there, we did switch out. We switched out our supers to Guitar Ride, which is that much better version of a super to use during arena fights. Also, it's a really unique one because instead of the bar just being depleted instantly, you have a timer of the timer is based on the drain of the super meter actually. So eventually, if you get more super meter, then you get to use Guitar Ride longer for fights, which means more damage. And right now we're on stage 3. This is, in my opinion, probably the best level in the game, just because this has the fastest tempo of the game. Faster tempo means faster movement, faster fights. It's just a good time.
It also has some positively wild skips, like multi-stage, complicated skips.
And also some of the most volatile skips in this game. No pun intended.
For sure.
I love it.
Oh yeah, we're in a volcano, by the way. This is apparently the R&D's department's location because they decided to take advantage of geothermal heating, but maybe didn't understand that normally you do that from above ground and you put the pipes underground.
All right, right now we are performing a 2-course. Man, you're gonna have to correct me on this, Fletcher, because I'm getting all my terminology mixed up. Courses are the stages, right? And tracks are the levels.
Tracks are the levels, and choruses are the arena fights.
All right, thanks for that correction. But yeah, we just skipped 2 courses by doing that skip.
Beautiful.
Just gotta hug the walls and perform CGS, and yeah. Also, something important to note with how the geometry of this level works. You can probably see in the background, the rocks do pulse up and down to the beat of the music, which is not just a visual thing. It does actually affect the gameplay in terms of how we move for these skips. But right now, we're on course 3, and we're gonna be fighting a pretty rough arena. We got 1 blue enemy, but we can destroy the shield fast. Unfortunate interrupt, but here we go. We got the Guitar Ride. That's what I'm talking about. Just gather up all these enemies. We got like 5 of them out of the way. Blue guy should die here. We're gonna grapple to the sword, and boom. Pretty clean fight. Oh, okay. Are we trying to go for cutscene skip?
Looks like it. We're getting some Coyote Jump storage right here because there is a trigger we want to avoid that would get some dialogue.
This one has a little bit of a annoying setup. They're aligning the feet with the shadows right there. Also, it is important to note that as long as you do not press the jump button, you do not lose your Coyote Jump storage. So even in that case where you hit the lava, you get hit by enemies, etc., you will maintain that Coyote Jump. You don't need to keep going back and forth. It's fine. We got generous respawns. And this is ideally what we wanted to avoid. It's just a minor, like 5-second cutscene, but it makes no difference.
Well, next time, communicate to me when you're gonna mess up
Keep moving on. You think you need to take that rock to rise up? Nope, we got some nice geometry. We got a little ledge to jump on. Go on the side, gather a few more bolts, some currency. And coming up here, we got another pretty precise skip coming up. So we need to land on this the grapple hook over here. It's gonna take a jump, dodge, and then jump. Yep. Okay. Ooh, perfect.
Oh,
okay.
heck yeah.
I didn't want to say anything to let Bolt concentrate there. So the reason why we're not saying anything there was because what we mentioned with how the rocks are moving. So Bolt had to time a jump in time with, I think, the third beat of the measure. So that way when they land on the rock, it actually creates a platform or a ledge in between the two. And then that way it resets the jump, and then there's able to skip 2 courses, which would have introduced the motorcycle enemy, and then have another annoying arena with a lot of the bigger guys. But luckily, we were able to skip that and go straight into the lab, or just the lab section.
Super well done. And we of course want to skip choruses because fighting takes time and we don't have time for that. We also do not want to deal with motorcycle enemies whenever possible. They will tend to put shields up on all their allies, and if you don't get rid of them really quickly, they will draw out fights even more. We will be forced to fight them in some of our upcoming arena fights, and you'll see Bolt prioritize them so they can't project those shields.
And not only do they project shielded, if we were to have a checklist of everything that's wrong, or like the most annoying enemies, the motorcycle probably checks off every single tick. Like, not only is it shields, they have some of the most annoying movement in the game. They just constantly run away from Chai, which is why we need to use the grapple hook. And earlier, Bolt got one of the upgrades for the called magnet backstab. So the way that works is if you press the grapple button again after tagging an enemy the first time, you will go behind them and it actually stuns them for at least a second, which is very useful for stopping the motorcycle enemies before they can even move. And right now, we are getting the parry mechanic, which, you know, it would be nicer to have earlier on, but hey, better sooner rather than later.
Oh, great.
Just call me in. I can help.
No.
So the way this works, I believe it's the B button on the controller. I'm not sure what it is on the keyboard, but the way it works, Chai can just parry attacks. It's also considered a guard, but yeah, we got Mr. Yapper over here who can also explain it. But it is very important because if you parry attacks and block them at certain times, you can call out your partner. You can actually do an air parry with a certain upgrade, which helps you stall out your attacks. And of course, there are some mandatory parry sections. And the reason why we can actually skip this room in the run. The problem is, if you skip this room, you soft lock yourself from the entire run because you're gonna have these mandatory sections, and Chai just doesn't have the ability to parry.
Chai, did you just black out?
Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Watch this.
Oh.
And you'll see the parry shows up constantly, not just in standard combat, but those rhythm parries that will, the enemy we just fought has that single little parry, it's very short. Other enemies will have significantly longer rhythm parries, and whenever possible, we will try to defeat an enemy before they can force us into rhythm parries.
My accuracy code is flawless. Apparently not.
Hey, subject, well done. Your gift basket is in the
Okay, sorry, I just had to pull up the stream. But yeah, I'm a little delayed, but it makes no difference. So yeah, we have the ability to parry now. As you can kind of see, the parry timing is fairly lenient for the most part. And we're going to see later on, there are going to be some enemies that will have these parry attacks, but we are going to try to avoid them. That will be explained in a few rooms, but right now, I believe we are going to be attempting one of the hardest skips in the game, but it's also one of the most crucial and save around 5-ish minutes.
Also, we've now met Zanza. This is the next boss that we're going after here, which gets us into Fletch Fact number 3. Most of the characters in this game, as you might have noticed, like Chai and Peppermint, are named after food, drinks, generally edible things. There are some characters who have less clear names. They might not actually be related to food, or they could be corruptions of things that are food. There's apparently like a Rekka ramen, and Zanza might be referencing a drink called Sanza. There are only a few folks like 808 who are definitively not at all related to food.
Also, I don't know if it was ever confirmed while Bolt is pulling off this extremely hard skip. Rekka also, if it's not food, because it is technically a type of ramen, it's also a fighting game term known as a Rekka move, where it is a sequence of moves that you can actually perform one after the other. Useful for frame trapping, if for all the fighting game folks out there. But yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, you learn a thing or two after being in plenty of communities. But yeah, this right here, one of the hardest skips in the game. Just a lot of potential for falling out of bounds, and it requires a lot of specific platforming. And at this point, this is going to be the very annoying one where you have to time your jumps, or not specifically the dash heavies, because we can't use our jump where we have a coyote jump storage right now. But you have to basically mount yourself with the pulsating rock, and expertly done right now. We are moving along smoothly. And right, it looks a little scary. It looks like the Valley of Death. We have a little bit of an opening here. We're positioning Chai's feet with a certain part of the cliff side. And we turn our camera. We're turning our camera so that way we position Chai to make a certain collision with the wall. Yep, reset. Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
That is what we want to see. Good stuff, Bolt.
That was extremely well done.
And right now, we get to skip. We get to skip the first samurai, which is very huge. So we don't need to explain that till later. And this is the final track of the. Wait, I can't speak. The final course of the level, where we have a bit. Yep, motorcycle guy here, but magnet backstab stuns them. Put them into the air so they can't move still. Okay, okay, got it before they got the shield. Just gotta get rid of these little flying bots here.
And chat, very important thing, if you can prepare and type BLORF in chat for us, we're gonna need that very soon.
How about...
Look at that. A green enemy.
Blorf!
Oh, am I behind? I'm behind. Oh no, that's awkward.
Previously on Hype. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean...
Oh wow, I was really far behind. I'm sorry about that.
Something
Well,
big is going
I'm on
down,
the...
Macaron. We've got...
Thank you. But yeah, we were missing a green ally, but now we do have a green ally.
More punch to those chips. If you get what I'm saying. With some extra supplies,
This is Macaroon. He is a very good has a very good assist call. So he is the only our only main way of actually destroying green enemies, because they have armored they have an armored exterior. So again, kind of like with Peppermint with the big blue shields. I would say a majority of the green enemies do require 2 assist calls with Macaroon without any upgrades. We do eventually have other options. It's just like the partner combo finisher with Peppermint, where we can actually destroy these green outer exteriors with just 1 call for Macaroon. So we're just going to buy some stuff here, and we're going to go straight into track. I'm trying to think. I'm going to count 4.
Yeah, we're going to 4.
That was a 1 minute gold.
1
Nice.
minute?
I mean, that was a very
That's
good skill.
incredible.
That's awesome. Well done.
Y'all, can we get a little hype in chat for a 1 minute gold split on that?
Firmware updated, and we...
Or sorry, holy blorf.
Try calling in Macaron.
Holy blow!
I'm gonna enter my vocabulary now. This gets us into seeing max utility through the level in the same way that Peppermint can help us shoot objects in the environment and also destroy shields. Macaron here is going to punch walls or other objects that have conspicuous shapes like this sort of Z vibe going on.
This is also another very fast tempoed level, so it makes for the movement. The movement's really fun to do in this level as well. And not just Z-shaped cracks, just Z painted rocks. But yeah, this is how the level is just going to proceed. We're going to keep moving forward.
So who has access?
From what I could tell, only killing the other departments.
Guess they're all in on this.
Oh, wait. Of course I got that.
Sorry, there's nothing else to be said right now because got a grand reveal coming up soon.
All hands on deck. I have an idea that needs all the
And now for something completely different.
It doesn't fit in the schedule, so we're gonna have to crunch this one out.
All right, so, yep. Chai can just fly now. So,
I love that.
That's so good.
so in previous runs, we had this old tech where we were able to maintain what's called a parry jump. So as long as you press parry and jump at the same time while maintaining that second jump, Chai would be able to float. But we have a much simpler version of the skip now. So what Bolt is doing is they are actually grabbing the windowed version of this game, and as long as you're in the air and you drag the window, for some reason it just halts Chai vertically in place, and we don't have to do that whole process of pressing parry and jump at the same time. Instead, we can just float to our destination. So because of how easy this skip is, the game has been split into two categories at this point, where one is unrestricted and the other version is restricted. Unrestricted, we are allowed to do what we refer to as the WFG, which is the window frame.
You might be window flying glitch.
Yeah, window flying glitch. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
And then we have the restricted version of this run, which would technically be the legacy version, where you're not allowed to do the WFG, and instead you just have to do the parry jumps. But the way we're maneuvering through track 4, there is a runway section at the very end of this level, and so originally we have to do a bunch of platforming on the roof of the level after going out of bounds. It's just a lot of tedious movement, doing a lot of parry jumps. But now instead we can just drop to a certain point of the map, do a lot of WFGs. We're just able to float, and we will eventually be landing at the final runway section, which just requires one little arena battle and then a bit of a platform with the zooming with the grapple hook, and then we should be good to go. And right here.
Awesome.
But of course, because so normally this rock would have a lava pool that starts blasting into the air, but again, because we skipped everything, the level is a little glitched, so a lot of the sequences are just not going to be working anymore, but we're still able to maneuver through the level just fine to the end. Like this. This will still trigger because the trigger for the rocks breaking is just Macaroon destroying or pushing that rock into the lava.
And we have Macaron now. Oh, go for it.
Yep. This is the only fight that we're going to be doing in the level, and in a little bit of time you'll hear, or rather you're not going to hear anything because we have desynced the audio, so it just isn't playing the right audio track and it just shuts off entirely.
Super funny in a rhythm game that we do this.
Yeah. Playing a rhythm game with no rhythm, no music, and all the sauce stuff. But yeah. Also, you can see Bolt is just parrying because it doesn't matter how many enemies you kill, because you're just waiting for... Oh, yep, there you go. Sometimes the auto-targeting with the grapple hook can be a little annoying like that, because it targets enemies sometimes, even if you aim it properly. But yeah, this is the runway section. So that was a very clean track 4, just in general, and yeah, really well done by Bolt.
And since we now have our new ally macaron, that gets us into Fletch Fact number 4. A macaron is a French dessert that is made of meringue and is almond-based, actually, which makes it gluten-free. Super relevant for me. That is to be distinguished from a macaroon, or at least how it's referred to in the United States. They are pulled from the same French word, but at this point, a macaroon is usually thought of as more of a cookie, and it usually has coconut in place of almond. So, same root, have ended up being very different desserts.
I've only had macaroons once in my life. They're always so expensive at the restaurant, but there's like a set at there's a set at one of the stores. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I find macarons a lot more satisfying than macaroons. I'm not much for coconut, but the texture of the meringue in a macaron, really nice.
And now that we've got our food packs out of the way, we're now Mac is also our buddy for getting some upgrades. But of course, there's a wall of fame, and we get a few more bolts. So I'm actually curious because I don't know actually. The run has changed quite a bit. Okay, so we are getting a back brawn upgrade right here. This is so in this game, there is another partner attack that's actually locked behind that upgrade. So Mac's normal assist call is him slamming to the ground, doing 2 hits to shields. If you hold Mac on call, he actually summons a gravity well and actually stuns enemies inside of it. Very useful for
big AoE too.
Yeah, it is very good, not just for keeping enemies in place, canceling out attacks. It's actually very useful for any of the big enemies that have parry mechanics that we do not want to deal with. But right there, we're just able to do a manipulation with the respawn. And also, if we had skipped track 4 with the parry, this is where you soft lock yourself. Because, yeah, you can't get past this. But of course, we are good little speedrunners, so we definitely get the parry here. And we can proceed forward. Let's see, is there anything? Oh, yeah, something else to note. Track 5, it's personally my least favorite out of the levels, just because it has the slowest tempo. So you go from track 3 and 4, having these very fast beats, being able to move basically at twice the speed, but it just like slows down, like I want to say like 25 to 30%. And yeah, another instance of WFG. We're able to use the collision of the spear here. And as you can see, we're just going to keep flying. This is the that was the parry jump right there. Fortunately, I think Bolt missed it, so we are going to try and reset it here. WFG again. And so the reason why we're doing this is normally you have to take a longer route where you have to go down, fight a samurai bot, but instead we're just able to use the collision of this sphere, and we can actually skip a ton of the nodes, which are just the sections of the level. So we have essentially skipped 2 or 3 of the sections here, and it saves us a lot of time. And you thought we were done? Nope, we're gonna keep doing more WFGs.
Looks like he's about to, deliver like a really crushing martial arts blow.
Yeah. Those old like 80s, 90s like action movies, the Karate Kid, whatnot.
Yeah, like crane pose thing.
Just suspended in midair with the invisible rope that you can just barely see. But yeah, we're at the final node essentially of the level. Right there, we are timing, or not timing, but we're doing specific moments where we are doing the double reload. We're able to space out so that way we're not playing any copyrighted music. There we go.
Yeah, there is a very thoughtful streamer mode in this game. The base version of the game does have a couple of really hype licensed tracks that are used primarily in boss battles, but there is also some original music that is provided by the Glass Pyramids, a band kind of formed specifically for this game that replaces most of that boss fight music.
But whenever you do, so yeah, you can switch from streamer mode or DMCA mode in this game in between the levels, but it will reload the entire stage. But that can also be used to our benefit because we can reposition Chai as her respawn point. And right now, yep, one more WFG. So normally once you're done with that node, you have to fight a ton of enemies. Specifically, I believe it's 4 blue enemies, which we don't have to deal with. So instead, we can just skip that, another WFG, and just go across.
And it's worth noting that some of this is necessary because arenas that we have skipped can still be active, and we need to continue to skip back around them to go other places.
Like this arena. This arena has also a notoriously annoying one because you have to fight, I believe, 4? Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. I think it's 3 green enemies and 2 samurais. And we have not seen a samurai yet, but if we do end up seeing one, well, you'll understand the pain that most at least the unrestricted runners have to deal with. And just performing 1 CGS here. Just skips a bit of platforming. A really nice trick to do. And another node gone.
to catch us up on the story here, we are currently trying to get the password of Corsica, who's the head of security, and she, being the head of security, is a little bit more on top of her password safety compared to everyone else. So we have to go through a bunch of hoops, do all these weird, extremely real IT things to try to steal her password.
I'm going to try to do this the slow way.
No worries. Yeah, this room here, there are 2 ways you can do this. You can just try and damage boost through this. Just take damage from the laser and just run forward. Instead, we're going to try to go for a no damage here, just because we do get another achievement, I believe, at the end of the level. Skips. Just a bit of maneuvering through those lasers and we dodge all of them.
Unfortunately, doing that without taking damage is about 6 seconds slower.
But it will all be worth it in the end. So we're just performing another WFG so that we can get around this arena. And we can just fall down here.
Do I really have to do this?
And now back to node 1.
Perspective, little guy.
Also something that we're not going to grab, but something important to note is there are grabbable batteries. If you grab those batteries, they are activatable for as long as you have it in your inventory, and it gives you 2 super meter. But right now we got a pretty standard arena, just 1 fly bot, 4 of just the little orange bots, which are not going to be hard to kill at this point. And let me introduce you to my number 1 off, the samurai bot. Very cool looking, very annoying to fight though. Probably to say the second most annoying enemy in the game. So I would say the most annoying part of this is this enemy has 2 phases, except, okay, I have been proven wrong, because that was actually really fast. Good job, Bolt. Oh man, the wonders of guitar ride and not having power chord. So normally if you fight that enemy, it actually does have 2 phases out. I think it's like one of the few big normal enemies in the game that has phases, but yeah, if he enters the 2nd phase, then he has a mode where he starts parrying all attacks. We had this old complicated setup where, you know, you just try to trigger the 2nd phase as fast as possible. You use gravity well with Mac in order to stun him so he can't do the parries anymore, and then he has the rhythm parry section, which is just an unskippable cutscene, which wastes around 10 to 12 seconds. But yeah, with Guitar Ride, you can just completely avoid that. You can skip the phase and you can skip the rhythm parry section. And right now, just a bit of QTE right here.
Really? You got everything connected?
But of course I couldn't have done it without.
And that's our last node.
Get back to the main room. There are still 2 more nodes to activate.
I'll drop us another quick Fletch fact since we did meet Corsica in person finally. Her computer has some cat gifs on it.
Mandatory parry sections. We love this. But yeah, if anyone's wondering why we did the nodes in this specific way, we're going to grab this battery for the next arena. We did this nodes because if you start from the bottom, from node 1, and then 2 to 3, you do end up going through a lot of fights. We don't have the geometry from the spear anymore. So doing it in this particular way actually is faster for the run. So that way we avoid more of the cutscenes, avoid a lot more of the arena fights. And yeah, we're just able to get to the final section of this level. You're going to be going down an elevator, and there's going to be 1 course, but it's split into 2. And let's see, yep. So if I remember correctly, the first course has a motorcycle dropping at this 2 section, which we are going to do doing 9 backstab. Please let me be right. I don't want to be considered a fraud. I am a fraud. Oh, okay. This is the quicker forward burst. So it's going to be 1 sword bot, 1 gunner, and then 1 big sword bot. Wait, I wasn't a fraud. Let's go.
The motorcycle's alive.
I wasn't a fraud. I am both sorry that I was correct, but it doesn't matter. We got rid of the motorcycle. Some dogs and I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what I'm yapping about. But here we go.
Teach a dog who used to run new
hi-fi rush
tricks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey man, yeah, whatever. Just that's just a
Don't
brain
worry,
fart from
your
me.
expertise is known, noted, and very appreciated no matter what.
Thank you. And to end off this chorus, we got the bird.
The bird.
Fortunately, well, bird's dead.
And we have flipped the bird.
Yep, it's gone. Bird is another annoying enemy that does have a rhythm parry and has very fast movement to deal with. But as long as we use a super, they just die, and we don't have to deal with any hassling there. But yeah, that's track 5. And look at that, only 2 fights. Really well done.
It's probably one of the most striking things about seeing this run compared to the run that I know that you did at SGDQ 2023 Moist Rock is just how many fewer rhythm parries we need to deal with in this version.
Oh yeah, it's not even just the rhythm parries, it's just how many tracks we can skip, or sorry, how many choruses we can skip now. That's always
true. Because we haven't actually had a required, other than the tutorial for the parry, we haven't had like a mini boss rhythm parry required yet, right?
I believe, yeah, we have not had to do any rhythm parries right now.
That's wild.
Although that is also because Bull has been able to manage their meter correctly and being able to skip any of the rhythm parries that are any of the optional rhythm parries from the Samurai Bot and from the bird. But
also fair.
Also, in case you didn't notice, from track 5 to 7, there is no going back to the hub. So we're just going straight from level back to level, back to back. So, which is fine because we don't really need that many more upgrades. We might get a few more after track 7, but right now we're essentially in an auto-scrolling level. It's really hard to quote-unquote optimize this other than just having really good fights because there's no platforming. We're just stuck on this little tram here, and so just being able to destroy the enemies as fast as possible will just proceed with the level, and yeah, not much else has to be said here except for the fights, which you can talk about the optimization later on.
Then as we get into the dodging signs section, I'll drop a new Fletch fact. Our protagonist here is named Chai. As folks may know, that is a term for tea, a specific type of tea being Masala chai. That means mixed spice tea. That is most traditionally made with black tea and a variety of the kind of warmer baking spices like cinnamon, cloves, cardamom, ginger, and others. But there are also other versions of chai. It can be made with green tea, it can be made with rooibos. It's come to mean a lot of the spices that go into it than necessarily just that it is a black tea with those spices and sweetened.
And while we're still on a bit of an auto-scrolling section, how do you like your tea, Fletcher? Do you like with
Oh
milk,
gosh,
sugar?
I have so many opinions on tea. I love tea. I love tea in many forms. If it's a black tea, I will often take it sweetened with some kind of creamer. I tend to sweeten most of my tea, but not always, and I like a lot of really gentle oolongs. How about you?
I am more of a green tea person. I'm okay with caffeine now, but generally speaking, I like to reduce my intake. But yeah, green tea, I do love me some peach oolong tea from some of the boba shops.
Ooh,
but yeah,
yes, very, very good choice.
I used to work at a boba shop, so I have been exposed and drank too much. So,
Nick, do you have any tea preferences?
Very, very traditional English breakfast tea for me.
Ooh.
Milk, 2 sugars.
Very solid choice. And as we were talking about teas here, this fight is essentially another auto-scroller because, again, you can't really kill these enemies any faster than the game will allow you to because they're on their own moving trams. So right now, you see Bolt's just killing all the ground enemies here, and then eventually has to deal with all these blue enemies. And that right there is very important to know. So we mentioned earlier that you can attack the blue enemies before they spawn the shield, and then you can tack on a bit of extra damage. But something that we learned later on throughout the run, you can actually parry the shield activation, so you can instantly destroy it and then have to avoid the hassle of summoning Peppermint twice. So expertly timed by Bolt there, just being able to finish that run as fast as we possibly can.
More construction ahead. Mind the debris.
And man, all that exciting action, only to be met with more side-scrolling, or sorry, more auto-scrolls. More sides.
In which case, I'll get us another drink-themed Fletch fact to help fill some of the time. So the code name for Hi-Fi Rush in development was Hibiki. That is the Japanese word for echo or for resonance, so very relevant for a rhythm-based game. But it is also the name of a fairly popular Japanese whiskey. I don't know if this was intentional or a coincidence, but that does fit in with the naming scheme of so many characters in this game being food and in some cases drinks.
Is the kid still on the left? Gotta get those brakes off.
And we are now approaching our last course of the level. So this course is going to be different from other ones because you technically do not need to kill enemies for this. Instead, this level is gated by these little breaks that are being summoned. So it's just called the lift. All you have to do is summon Macaroon twice in order to break the lift. Or sorry, break the break. Yeah, that's weird to say, but yeah. So you start with one. It's going to be just a second one spawning, and then it'll be two at the same time. But right now we're just time gated until of course because decides to turn on the brakes again. And also something important to note is that you have to wait for the prompt that shows that Mac can destroy the brake. If you summon Mac too early, then you are going to call him, do his regular attack, and then he's going to be on cooldown. So that costs you around 6 to 7 seconds. But of course, we have enough discipline at this point of just knowing how the game works. If there's any level that we could do a pacifist run on, it'd only be this stage.
Pacifist run by Rush would be wild.
Yeah. Except, you know, the game doesn't really allow us to do that for the most part.
Yeah.
This is probably the only stage you can actually do it, now that I think about it. Oh, also fun thing to note, if you play this game on the hardest mode, so the way the hardest difficulty of this game works is if you fall below, I believe, a C rank, then you just instantly die. So it causes you to reset. And so when I originally played the hardest level of this game, on this stage in particular, you have to think about, like, how are you going to maintain that rank? All you have to do is just keep dashing in place, just do a few attacks on B, and then you can maintain your rank. So that's a fun fact, if you ever played the hardest difficulty of this game. And, as I mentioned before, we just went straight into track 7. So we are immediately greeted with a pretty rough arena. We got the Saw Blade enemy, which this is our first time actually fighting this. This is another rhythm parry enemy that we are able to avoid. We're going to do Guitar Ride here in order to kill them, so that we don't have to do the rhythm parry. Kill the green tank. And there, 21 seconds. Guitar Ride is just
beautiful.
Really good as a skill. And we are going to... Okay, I think that was increased the frame rate there, I believe.
Check out construction for a back door.
And right now, we are going to be doing another skip here. So I believe it's going to be a CGS. Okay, so I believe how this works is we're going to go all the way to the end of the track here, and then we eventually go out of bounds. This is going to cause us to eventually do a warp here. So yeah, we're going to fall down here. Kind of reminiscent of the track 4 skip, but... Oh, there we go. You saw the blink there.
Hey.
There we go. And right there we're also... Yeah. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, this is known as Origin Warp. This is another thing that you may have seen in a variety of speed games. Based on arbitrary factors of how this level was built, somewhere is the level origin, the coordinate point of 0, 0, 0. So that glitch is letting us fall and get warped to that origin, which happens to be way closer to the end of the level than where we were.
Yeah, so I believe this is, I'm trying to remember. This is probably the first, 2D side-scrolling section. Yeah, okay, it is. So we essentially skipped one cutscene. We skipped 2 courses, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3. And yeah, we're just able to land where the first platforming section is. 2, yeah, okay. Make sure I'm not forgetting things. And yeah, there's a lot of just 2D movement right here. So there's no other like real glitches here at this point.
Super, super cool glitch though. Incredible skip.
And we're gonna do another WFG here. Yep, there we go. And that's arena to the right there. It has a samurai bot there, and it has, I believe, 2 or 3 gunners. That of course, we want to skip all of them. That one is in particular is really bad to do, just because the gunner bots do not provide you enough batteries in order to get meter to perform a super to avoid the rhythm parry for the samurai. So yeah, just very important that we skip that. It's around like a minute or like a 2-minute fight, so very well done. Perform another WFG here, and we can actually trigger the 2D section. And yeah, just spawn back inbounds. Although, yeah, we have triggered the 2D section without actually being 2D now, so we have to manually move around this course. Gives you a different POV.
Extremely weird.
Top 10 cursed hi-fi rush images. It's just...
And except for some of the specific elevator moves, I kind of wouldn't have known outside the context of playing the game that this is supposed to be a 2D section, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah, it's probably something to do with the boundary restrictions, I'm assuming, or maybe they just like move controls, but we'll never know unless we dive deep into the code, which I am no programmer.
I really appreciate the little Dutch angles making this specific grapple sequence being a little bit more cinematic.
And right here, we're performing another WFG. So this arena, another annoying one to do on a casual playthrough, because you have to fight 5 green enemies in total, but instead, we can just do a little floating here. And just
pose our way past it. Nice.
Yeah. You know, Kale has me seething just looking at the cameras, just like, why is this guy just floating?
How is he doing that? Someone catch that defect.
Truly does live up to the name, huh? But to our benefit, of course. However, with all the skipping that we have just... Wait, hold on. Unfortunately, we cannot interact with any... Okay, yeah. Bold decided to just move on forward. So, unfortunately, whenever there's dialogue being presented to us, we cannot access any or interact with anything that requires the B button. So, in that case, we were going to try and buy a few upgrades, but the dialogue there is just a bit too long. A bit too much yapping, but this is one of the few arenas that we actually have to do. Not the worst, just annoying how all the enemies are spaced out. We got the motorcycle enemy, and after this initial first phase of the fight, we are going to be introduced to another new enemy. Who is it? We dubbed them the Salamander.
Spooky.
Well, if he was looking the right way. But yeah, Salamander, pretty mobile enemy. Honestly though, not the worst in the game, because you can just do this.
Guitar ride with a little
guitar ride. Just a little bit of move. This is the only awkward part about guitar ride, is just big enemies do not get magnetized like the small ones do, so you have to do a lot of circle movements. You're essentially just doing donuts with a guitar. But yeah, that's just that fight. We get to move on forward. A bit more platforming here.
And that means we're over an hour in, and we've managed to avoid like every rhythm parry.
Yes, sir. So yeah, again, rhythm parries, we just avoid them. So I guess I should explain in detail that you have to use supers or max gravity well in order to hit enemies in rhythm parry mode, or at least prevent it entirely, because as soon as they start glowing orange, Chai's normal attacks do not register. I'm not sure if it's due to like a destruction of like the collision box, hitbox, whatever it is, but yeah, supers are the only things, and Macaroon in general, or specifically, that is able to bypass that mode, and you can just avoid the rhythm parry and save time. And speaking of time, we have no time for all these lasers and platforming, so we're just gonna perform another WFG.
I don't know why Chai's so worried about these lasers. I think you just fly past them. I mean, really.
True. This arena is not too bad. So luckily, instead of a green tank, we have a blue tank here. And we're not even going to give him the chance to summon his blue shield. And we're just going to guitar ride. We're just going to do a bit of do a drifting here. There we go. Again, really awkward movement sometimes if the enemies just decide to just dodge. Sometimes they just don't get magnetized. But again, really good fight. There's no problems there. And now just a bit of movement. Still have to use Peppermint to destroy some of the blue shields to get us the grapple hooks. Chai is not that independent as a playable unit still. Get more movement here. Oh, what, you think we were gonna do an arena? Nah, we're gonna get onto this, on top of this light post and perform another WFG, and then this should bring us to the final platforming section. The level, there should be a grapple hook shortly. It's just in reach. There we go. Some more elevator jumps. More elevator jumps. And just like there's Korska's door. It's right there.
Since we have a short break from combat, I'll give us a Fletch fact about rests. In British English, a quarter rest is called a crotchet rest.
I can confirm that. That is correct.
That was news to me. I just learned that today because I was like, I wonder what this is called. And I realized it was called a quarter rest, at least in America, but not everywhere.
So it's just a naming difference, right? There's no like actual difference between the rests.
Nope. Functionally the same, but it looks like, at least according to Wikipedia, almost every rest has a different name in British English compared to American English.
Interesting. Huh. More you know. But as you can see now, just a bit more platforming until we fight Korska. And I should ask, is it dropping time, or are we being chivalrous?
Oh yeah, I don't know how close to a PB pace we're on right now. I wasn't actually looking.
Well, if we were going true PB base, we would have to sacrifice a headache for Korska. But we will see what Bolt decides to do.
True. This does demonstrate those rhythm parries that we have been talking up this entire time. The Korska boss fight is very, very cool, not very easy to speed up, and it consists exclusively of these series of rhythm parries. It is these kinds of sequences that those large enemies, those kind of mini-boss enemies, would be doing if we weren't using the guitar ride to just completely wipe the floor with them before they can trigger them.
You like puns too? What? No.
You know, it might never happen, but if there were either a sequel or a remaster, again, not gonna happen, at least in terms of remaster, but if there's an actual fight with Korska, it probably would have been pretty unique. But you know, having this boss fight just be the rhythm parries, it is a different change of pace, so you know, you gotta appreciate the creativity there. But being able to fight Korska one-on-one in a regular boss setting would have been pretty entertaining. But yeah. There's not much that needs to be said here. Oh, other than a different type of the parrying. So instead of doing the parry button, you're actually going to use the dodge whenever you see these purple zigzags. Which is kind of weird. Why does Korska have a red color scheme, yet her wind is green?
That is kind of confusing.
I ain't no graphic designer, but a lot of questions that need to be asked, you know?
Like, why is this room full of pulsing equalizer, like, physical geometry? I feel like people would trip over those. Again, Vandalay Industries does not have OSHA.
You know Corsica was just thinking, like, I can finally use this arena that I had built into my office.
Yeah, she's waiting for someone to challenge her here specifically. She has the hype equalizer gamer lights and the weird equalizer geo.
Korska being the office lady who's secretly actually gamer girl coded. Respectable, honestly. I respect the setup here. And of course, we are now at the climax of the fight here. It's just going to be just essentially just a lot more rhythm parries, but it is definitely the best part of the just the OST in general.
I know you're not like the others, Korsica. You can feel something's wrong.
Chai, you are surprisingly
Oh, look at
As we
this.
wrap up the fight, I can give us another Fletch fact that's a bit more broad about Vandelay Industries in general. It is named after a made-up company from the show Seinfeld. And I like, obviously, Seinfeld's also a made-up show. But in the canon of Seinfeld, Vandelay Industries is also a fake company.
Interesting.
This fact brought to you by parents who watched way too much Seinfeld.
I'm glad to say I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Yeah, I did not grow up with Seinfeld. I think this is the last one? Nope.
What a cool boss fight, though. It's so much fun.
Yes. I think it's this, right? This thing? There we go. All right, what is it? 50-50.
All right, we save when we drop in. We're dropping Corsica. It's a little bit faster.
By 1 second.
According to the Hi-Fi Rush wiki, there was some back and forth over like, oh wait, we intend for players to catch Corsica, but they allowed players to drop her because it is really funny.
Not only is it funny, it's optimal.
It's the best combination.
We don't drop her due to hatred. We just do it just to be faster. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're back at the hideout. No harsh feelings. If you ever have the chance, you can always watch the cutscene that plays after the boss fight because, yeah, we don't give her just one concussion. But just a bit more menuing over here at the hub. We have to talk to Corsica there. It's just a mandatory talking section. I don't remember if she actually... She has a menu option or like functionality on the hub. I just kind of forgot what it does. Memory's not serving me well right now. We just bought a few more upgrades, specifically some partner upgrades, some more combos, and now we are on the museum level. This is another heavy skip level. I think it used to be a lot more risky.
I'm on a 2-minute pace.
2-minute pace, nice.
Oh wow.
Try. There should be a back route nearby leading to the
We're
museum.
pushing ahead into the Clockwork Museum level, which apparently is a very deliberate reference to the Kiran Jindash's Clockwork Mansion from Dishonored 2. Very, very cool level. In my opinion, not the best level in that game, but still an incredibly cool put together level. And this one's pretty cool too, but we're not going to see all that much of it actually.
Well, let's just say we're going to be seeing it from a different angle.
That's fair. That's fair. It's a matter of perspective.
True. It's just we see the architecture from the outside, but also before we go outside, we have to go inside first. And this is what we saw on a course track two. These are the flames. So Corsica is the only person that can deal or at least extinguish these flames, and she does it for a temporary amount of time. Important to note, you cannot damage boost through those flames. I believe you touch them, I think it puts you into a reset state, or you just take damage and then it's acts as a physical wall. So yes, you do need to use Corsica in order to get past those sections.
And Corsica did join our endeavor despite the fact that we dropped her on her noggin.
And gave her, I believe, cutscene-wise, we gave her 2 more concussions afterwards, but we gave her a new heart, so, you know. It's even. We're even. Right now...
What's 2 concussions between friends?
Yeah, right?
No pain, no gain. We just saw right there, Bolt had to do a coyote jump, CJS, and we are going to get on in between this wall right here. We're gonna do a we're just gonna aim to do a dash heavy once we're on top of the wall here, because there's gonna be an invisible ceiling that we can actually get on top of. Right here, perfect. And now we're gonna travel along the wall, and then we can get onto the exterior of the arena. So if you went through the arena the normal way, we get introduced to, I believe, the Fire Boxer, and as most enemies in this game, is color-coded red, but we don't have to worry about that for now. Yeah, we are now in the museum here. Very pristine, very clean, and a bunch of robots. And don't bother looking at the left side of the museum, because yeah, we don't need to feel bad for Corsica.
Well, I, for one, am
But right here is going to be the first instance of the museum skip. We're going to perform our CGS on this glass, and we're actually going to able to get on top of the ceiling here. And then on top of the cylinder? Yeah, there we go. So I'll just point out every room that we're skipping. We just skipped course 2 in that circular room. Coming up into these blue rooms are going to be the exposition rooms. So we don't get to know any lore, and we have no context now for what's happening, except if we want to explain it later. But yeah, if you want to talk about that, Fletcher.
Yeah, sure. In very brief, the museum is intended to give a falsified history of Vandalay Industries. There's not as much talk about Roxanne, who founded the company, had the best of intentions, and there's a lot more focus put on Kale as this kind of like boy wonder who's really leading into the future. Spoiler alert, Kale's a huge jerk. We will get one piece of exposition because we do need the last room for the level, but we're going to skip every single other exposition room in the museum to save some time.
I was right here. There are 2 ways of, yeah, we have to either do a coyote jump storage to get on top of here, or we can just do the parry jumps. It's a little risky to do the CGS just because you have to know where the invisible ledge is, and then, of course, just like any other part where you're out of bounds, if you do not know, if you accidentally fall down into the void, then you are forced to do a double reload, and then you just waste all that time. So we're just going for a safety route. And then, as per usual, we got another CGS. This one is not unavoidable. Or sorry, avoidable, I should say. It's unavoidable. We have to get up here, and we are going to... Okay. So this is different because we are doing the WFG version of this. Unrestricted, we have to do a very specific way of triggering the level where you have to trigger the arena fight by falling out of bounds and then not falling into the void. But instead, we can just do WFG instead, and we can just fly all the way past all these fights and platforming.
Absolutely hilarious. And if I'm not mistaken, we're flying right to the end of this track, right?
I believe so. Although I think, yeah, so I believe, so it's gone right now because it's deloaded, but yeah, there's like a ton more courses. One that introduces you to the flamethrower bots. I believe they're I don't know if the flamethrower bots are introduced in this level. They should be, but yeah, we're just flying past around everything.
And while we're scooting through here and waiting for the level to reload in, Nick, if you have any announcements. Oh, here we have the level load back in, and we're approaching that last exposition room.
And never mind, I guess I don't think we need the exposition room anymore, unless... Yeah, it looks like
yes, I was... Yeah, sorry about that. I completely forgot to unclick my mute button. We are powering on through with Bolt, who is on a fantastic pace at the moment. But I did want to remind folks, we talked about GDQ earlier, but Back in a Flash is actually coming up before it. Speeding Through the Holidays is December 27th and 28th, starting 1 p.m. Eastern. And there is also Back to Black coming up in February as well. So use !BAF in Twitch chat to learn more about those upcoming events for Back in a Flash. But let's keep watching this and listening to this amazing hype run. Yeah, keep it going. And I'm loving the facts. I've come for the hi-fi rush, but I'm staying for the Fletcher facts.
Thank you.
Well, we spent all that time in the museum. We had a little bit of a hiccup where I believe we were trying to use the parry jumps to get higher, to hit the invisible ceiling and get past this platforming section. It happens, but luckily, that point where we fell out of bounds, we were able to hit the kill plane there, and then we just spawn back inside of the museum. So there's no need to do a double reload at this point. So we're just going on an alternate path, which is just the way the game is supposed to be intended. Sickening, I know. But right now, we are on the last... Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Since Kale is coming up in chat, I wanted to give us a very quick Kale fact about the character Kale. He is voiced by Roger Craig Smith, who voices Sonic in the video games.
And at least for my personal favorite role for him, Mirage from Apex Legends.
Also true. What a ham.
All right, this is, oh, there we go. That is the Fireboxer. So unfortunately, or not unfortunately, this enemy can be pretty annoying because their attacks are infused with flames. Unlike the green and the blue enemies in the game, you do not need Corsica to actually destroy that bot. It's just used to make the fight easier because she can extinguish the flames from the fist and on the ground. If Chai gets hit by any fire attacks, then he is forced into a stagger state where you have to like flick your mouse or the analog stick constantly in order to recover. So we don't want to do that, obviously. And right now, 1 bird, 2 gunners. We're going to be using the Peppermint combo extension. Oh. So as you see, that is the orange comic effect there. That is the rhythm parry state that the enemies can be in where they do not take damage from regular attacks. So again, we have to use the Peppermint combo extender there in order to actually deal damage to the bird without doing the rhythm parry. And just like that, this room is complete, and so is the level. As soon as this barrier's gone.
You're almost there, Chai.
Just open the door.
That was super, super cool. I love that. They're skipping almost everything in this dang museum.
If I'm not mistaken, there's only 1 fight. Yep, just 1 fight. Look at that.
Chai?
And now we are on the Mimosa boss fight. So this is, I believe, chorus. No, track. This is track 8. Is 8 or 9? I am losing track of where we're at, but you know, that's just because we're going so fast.
I want to say this is 9. This is the boss fight, right?
Yeah, this is the boss fight.
Okay, great. Then yeah, this will be 9.
Yeah, this will be 9.
Take the stage.
And luckily, this boss fight is not that complicated. It's actually also not time gated compared to other boss fights. By the time you destroy the health bars, you'll be well within the song where it transitions to the next phase. So there's no issues here, except for this part. For some reason, I'm really bad at this platforming section because the tempo is very hard to track, even with 808. And specifically, we'll see if Bolt can do it, but I can never first try this, the elevator section that comes up in the next platforming section.
Also, if you'll notice, we are left shark of Super Bowl fame.
You gotta get up to the stage.
And if you're wondering, yes, you can wear the shark outfit later on in the game. There is a costume or a wardrobe that you can actually buy additional stuff here. And Bolt can just first try the elevator and avoid the hassle of trying to jump on B. Alright, and here we are at the Mimosa boss fight. She just grew wings. This fight is literally just spam all your allies, spam your grapple hook, and spam the left click. Alright, we're gonna use the Peppermint assist in order to get the stun here. This didn't really come up really in any of the other fights just because of how fast we were killing these enemies. So Mimosa does encapsulate the mechanic of the stagger meter. So normally Mimosa does take significantly less damage before she gets staggered. There's gonna be I believe a quarter circle on the side of her. So as long as you fill that up, then she can't move, and then she takes full damage from your attacks. And then this section right here, you would think she thinks she's hidden from us, but Peppermint can just easily detect where Mimosa is in her group B here. So we're just able to get past the second phase very easily. And now we are on this is a Sega game reference. I forgot which one it was.
Oh, I also forget the name of the game. Chat, if you know it, shout it out.
It's the one with the pink haired chick, right? It's like the old Sega Saturn
I honestly do not remember. I know I've heard it mentioned. That was not written down as a flesh fact, unfortunately.
I just remember from my previous run, but yeah, this is a reference to an old Sega game. But yeah, so this isn't that bad. Just something to keep in mind for the why everything is just a square button in this case. There's an accessibility option which turns all the rhythm parry sections into just a single button press. We as a community, we just decided that makes no difference if we just turn everything to a single button or if you have to do it like the normal way, which is a different combination of your interfaces. But yeah, so that is the quote-unquote third phase, and now we're on the final part of the boss fight. So to start this off, this looks like a rhythm parry section. It's not. She's just gonna put us into a box, and we just have to use Peppermint and Macaroon in order to destroy these nodes that are bringing up this barrier. And once that's done,
is that this equalizer wave attack is actually a parryable, like surprisingly much of this game.
we are going to do... There we go. Yep, another Peppermint. Avoid the hassle. Yep, and we just broke her, and we are
Never
at
done
the
that strat
end.
before.
Oh.
And to end it off, we just have one rhythm parry. Well,
Or more accurately, I learned it in 2 minutes this morning.
Nice.
Huge rhythm parry sections here to try to wrap up Mimosa.
And there we go.
Boom. Very
And
nice.
We just got it. Very good boss fight. We let Bolt focus on the rhythm parries there, because if you do miss one, you have to do the entire rhythm parry. So of course, just let them concentrate, and no problems there. Really clean boss fight.
And Bolt does actually have the world record for the individual level against Mimosa there. So true to form, Bolt absolutely polishing off that Mimosa, down in one.
And now we are on stage 10. So a little bit of cutscene here, kind of dramatic. Who needs lore? But yeah, we are now at the last section of the game.
Chat did indeed come to the rescue. Space Channel 5 was the game
thank
you were
chat.
thinking of.
Appreciate that. Also, in honor of Mimosa's, she doesn't really. It's not really said if they die, but in honor of Mimosa going elsewhere. Now, a standard Mimosa is made with orange juice and champagne or a sparkling wine, but there are many variants of mimosas that use all kinds of other citrus juices. This has been Fletch Facts.
I'm not much of an alcohol person.
Same. I do like mixed drinks, though. I like making them more than I like drinking them.
Oh, yeah. I just can't have alcohol in general because I'm allergic.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, okay. On to this boss fight. So this arena is pretty annoying because it's just going to be
really
constant.
messy.
Yeah, that's kind of what we mentioned earlier, where enemy attack patterns are predictable, their movements are not. That was just unfortunate because all of the shield enemy and then the sword enemy, they separated from each other. Which
Well, I
is
blame
what
the
you
green
don't wanna
shield
see.
guy for not attacking earlier.
Yeah, the green shield, so you can bypass the shield by doing the magnet backstab and being able to hit them at their blind spot. But if you ever come into contact with the front of the shield, it staggers Chai, and it's just very annoying to deal with. So you either want to deal with it just the normal way, Macaroon, just be able to break the shield, hit it from behind, or use a super to bypass it entirely. But yeah, this section, you would think this is an auto scroller. It's not. It's technically, you can technically speed this up if you kill enough enemies at the right time, or like fast enough. Just because enemies are, I'm trying to remember exactly. It's something to do with how many can spawn at a certain time. But you mainly want to deal with the gunner enemies. The gunner enemies are the ones that are trying to attack the cannon. We can leave these sword bots as is. So we're just going to keep going along here, get a bit of extra meter. We'll dash heavy into another aerial light. We'll do quick work with these enemies. Also, you can see there, one of the upgrades that we do have on our partners, or at least for Chai technically, if you perform a perfect dodge, then you get the same prompt with the combo ending supers, where you can call your partner in to do damage as long as you have 25 bar.
It's stuck at 99%. What's going on? How odd. My signal is cut off. Might something be interfering with it?
Just like a Windows loading bar.
Yep. And The only time we see this enemy, all this setup and all the hassle for the Firebird.
Bum bum bum.
Okay, so what happened there, if you attempt to use the grapple hook on the Firebird, it actually puts you immediately into a rhythm parry trigger, or I guess a prompt, but it's just a dodge. So we can just do that and then just start beating up. We are doing the specific air attack here, and I believe in a bit of time called Corsica. Okay. Fortunately, we did not build up the meter, and the rhythm parry section just got triggered a bit too early. Normally, what could happen is you can kill the bird before it actually even goes into the rhythm parry section, and then save a bit more time. But either way, we avoid the rhythm parry section, which is pretty long for that enemy too. But we never have to deal with the Firebird ever again, unless you do post-game content. And here, 2D transition into arguably one of the best cinematic fights with the what's called the copyrighted music, but of course we are using the DMCA free version. But yeah. So the start of this fight can be a little rough just because you're just starting in a wide arena. All the enemies are spaced out, but of course everything can be dealt with in due time. There's a bit of solo targeting here. Kill the blue shield. Just gotta wait for the next arena to... Oh, never mind. That's the problem with these fights. Those enemies can just blend in with the background.
I love the robots that seem to be cheering for Chai in the background.
Cheering for the wrong side. Who wouldn't though? It's Chai.
I mean, if my bosses were this much of a jerk, I would absolutely support Chai.
True. And that just shows the sheer power of just Guitar Ride. We had a rough, just a really annoying first force fight there, but then just Guitar Ride is just able to do all those enemies without having to do with any rhythm parries or hassles with just big dudes. But this is the second phase of the Samurai Bot that I mentioned earlier. However, this Samurai Bot, for some reason, is the only one that gets affected by Corsica's wind. So, yeah.
That's really funny.
I don't know what... Oh, okay, that is unlucky.
Oh no, the rhythm parry. All right, so finally we're seeing a regular instance of these rhythm parries that we're talking about, where they lock you in this little cinematic fight. So the only good avoided like almost everything else, that's pretty great.
Yeah. Also, by doing the rhythm parry attacks there, you're guaranteed to kill them after the parry. So like, there's no other hassle beforehand. It's just if you... In that instance, that one is just unlucky because the damage, I guess, just wasn't enough to meet the threshold for the super. But it doesn't happen twice because we're killing the Buzzsaw guy, and there we go. Just Guitar Ride just making good work of this again.
And you know, if there's any mini boss that we have to do the rhythm parry to, I'm pretty okay with it being the samurai chef with the giant frying pan.
It's always good to see once, but yeah, you ever see that in your own runs, just back it up.
Yeah.
Because it's cooked. But yeah, a solid 7-10 seconds of just watching the high Q and then the whole rhythm parry, but you know, again, we're allowed one.
We're now seeing a bit more of Roquefort, who is the boss for this level, the head of accounting. We would have seen him earlier, but I think we ended up skipping the section where he complained to Zanza how much budget R&D is using. And that gets us into a Fletch fact, because keeping the theme of food and drink, Roquefort is a type of cheese derived from sheep milk, which is a reference to how Corsica calls Roquefort a wolf in sheep's clothing, which has some other double meaning that we'll see later on.
And I don't know what it is with Tango Work Studio, but they put all this work in all these cool enemy designs, only for them to show off once. And here it is again, the green hedgehog. But honestly, maybe that's a good thing. This green hedgehog is by far, it's probably another annoying enemy, probably top 3. I'll give it the 3rd place one. As it is green, we are required to use Mac in order to destroy the armor. So we're gonna wait for him to do the attack that we can actually parry, use the Mac assist there. Magic Backstab stuns him. And there we go. Yep. We are using... Oh, what the... That's not normal. Interesting. For some reason, Guitar did not decide to hit him. But nonetheless, we avoided the rhythm parry.
Nice.
It's all good.
That's what matters.
That's all that matters. Again, we're only allowed one.
Please tell me I'm close. Kinda. Looks like it's across from an atrium you're coming up to.
But yeah, it must be said that anytime you do a partner assist off of a parry, it does significantly more damage than a regular assist call. So you are rewarded for putting in the extra effort to get that parry in the first place. And of course, you get the assist call a lot faster. And now we are in the atrium. A very big open space that we're not going to see much of. So we're going to go on the side path here. This is normally used for extra content. But you can probably guess what we're going to do here. Oh, that was just the roof.
It's going to start with a CJS. And then we fly.
Flying towards Kale. So, normally you're just going around the whole perimeter of this atrium. You're going from floating box to floating box, going through all these office buildings, fighting enemies. Instead, we're just gonna fly to Kale, and that's some nice geometry that he has on his arm here.
I feel compelled to tell everyone that in Bolt Clock's notes, this is referred to as the armpit strat.
Yeah, we gotta work on these names. Nah, just kidding. It is appropriate. It is appropriate for what we are doing, because yeah, who needs platforming, all these extra zips and everything when you can just use WFG and you can just fly your way to the end.
We're supposed to be doing a really, really lengthy sequence of fights and magnet pulls and platforming and use Macaron to knock a piece of the Kale statue apart. But no, instead we go straight into the fight with Roquefort.
Pick it up.
Of course, our biggest enemy here is actually the cell phone, as it is stopping us from actually going to Roquefort. Until now. Just a little fun 5-10 second wait.
Roquefort had a bad...
And of course, we mentioned the wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. He's a werewolf.
He's a cool mecha werewolf.
Now, because we played this game so much, yeah, Roquefort at this point is very easy. However, even on easy mode, each one of Roquefort's attacks do a ton of damage. I would probably say if you're no HP upgrades, he can easily deal around 20% damage per hit. So if you're not careful in this fight, you will get absolutely decimated. So you are encouraged to do a lot more dodging and parrying for this fight. And just like that, this is the first phase. So the reason why we only have 1/4 of a health bar is this runaway section. This runaway section is time gated and it can be very frustrating. So the way he does the runaway, we did the initial stun, but Roquefort is programmed to use the blue shield first, and then he's eventually going to call the green shield right here. But of course, he's going to keep running away. There's no point in chasing Roquefort at this point, so we're just going to use the grapple hook until he stands still, and then we can proceed on to the fight. We are... Alright, perfect. We didn't have to deal with the time gate. So now, phase 2 of the fight, essentially the same as the first one. Just a lot of smacking, a lot of dodging, and a lot of parrying.
And that can drop us another Fletch fact. Both of Roquefort's boss musics, the streamer mode and the non-streamer mode, are based on Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. But there are still those two versions because one of them, I have to assume, is a copyrighted piece of music, while the other one is an original remix for this.
Oh, that was a really weird grapple. Good parry. Powered chord. And now we're bringing back, what was it, 2018-19 classic meme. Because Roquefort is going to vent. Looking kind of sus there. But yes, so normally if you don't position yourself correctly, Roquefort will he will go into the vent, and then he essentially spawns on the other side of the map, and then you have to avoid these laser beams in order to actually get to him. But yeah, if we just kind of know where he's going, then we can just avoid this whole laser sequence entirely. So not really clever playing on his end. He's finance bros, never thinking ahead. But yeah, and now we are on the final phase of this boss fight. This one we can get time gated out for sure, and there can be, just like similar to the QA1 mill and the Recta fight, if he does a certain attack at the very end when we can technically kill him, then we are just gonna get griefed and lose around 5 to 7 seconds, but we'll just see when that happens. But yeah, right now, nothing's... Okay, this is the attack that is specific to this part of the fight. Okay, so what you see there, Roper dives into the pile of gold, and then he is going to try to try for 2 times, and then a final 3rd time in the air. The only way you can deal with that, just do 2 parries and time with the first 2 dashes, and then there's going to be a golden fist that pops out of the ground. So as long as you're near that fist, then Roper will just slam his face in there, give himself a concussion, and then you can hit him free. And right now, we are time gated. Until now. So he did not do the dive or later, which is really good. So really good RNG. And we're just left with a last rhythm parry here with Korska.
Super fun way to conclude the fight.
Also a little fun fact, but also technically a slow fact, is that you can get into this rhythm parry section in the 2nd phase of this fight, I believe, where he does a howl, which is essentially it triggers the rhythm parry portion, which we do not want to have happen. So yeah, overall that was a really clean fight, no issues or complications. A bunch of text, and we are on the 2nd to last level now, which is going to be our final platforming section.
Ah, yes, this game goes to 11 tracks, and then it also goes to 12, but we're on 11 right now.
Time for
Yep.
Spectra's wireless test run.
A bunch of exposition. So, actually, if you want to take away, go off about the lore implications here.
Oh yeah, can do. So most of this game, we've just been focused on taking out the different heads of the departments and stealing their passwords. What we've learned here is that Kale Vandelay is using this Spectra mind control program to control Roxanne, his mother and the founder of the company, to kind of have this hostile takeover that he's been in the middle of. We also learned during some earlier moments that Peppermint is actually...
I'm just gonna rest my eye for a bit and do this with my eyes closed.
Nice. We also know that Peppermint is related, is a sibling of Kale, and is kind of, trying to deal with all the horrible things that her brother is doing in the company. And here we have the very anime reflection. We're gonna all reflect on all the things that we're doing, and we're growing the power of friendship.
Switch my avatar to eyes closed mode.
Just very
I swear
simple.
my eyes are closed.
The wonders of being rhythmically literate. I don't know what the correct term is, but hey, if you just know how to be in time, then yeah. You know what? We should do a blindfold category for this game, like Super Mario.
I, for one, Mr. Jai, like your back.
But yeah, very chill moment. So to speak, very emotional, and we got a little robot friend. And I believe this is gonna be the last section.
I do trust you. You know that, right?
And I know it now. I don't need a guitar.
All right, and we're back. All that was it. I think it's a 5-minute section right here, and only for us to do another WFG.
Woo!
Honestly, this is the power of friendship. Being able to freaking float across the entire stage unlocks his true inner potential. But yeah, so This is going to be course 1, or that we're skipping. So the trigger for this course would have been a grapple section that would have been performed if we had gone the normal way. But yeah, that's course 1 done. We're going to perform a CJS here, and then we are going to get on top of this fence using a combo. Oh, interesting. They did not. Normally you float there and then you use the jump heavy in order to reset the jump, which is what they were going for originally, but we managed to just avoid that entirely. And that's the whole level, by the way.
Woo! Boom. Arm removed.
Yeah, we mentioned like in track 4 about things not spawning. Don't worry about the missing textures. There's no wall. Power friendship allows them to fly. And yeah, we get to play the robot now.
Now we play a Cinnamon,
normal.
which is hilarious.
So yeah, the only a nice little platforming section. We don't have any extra movement here, just moving in a straight line. And now we get the laser beam and then just a bit more rhythm parries, and then we are good to go.
I love describing a singular Cinnamon jump as a platforming section.
It's important, okay?
Can't miss the spectacle. Go, Cinnamon, go!
You're doing an excellent job, Bolt Clock. And so is Cinnamon, for that matter.
True.
Great job, Cinnamon.
You know, that jump carries more weight than a majority of the platform in this game. And there we go. That is track 11 at a whopping sub 50, 10 seconds below. Very nicely done.
Nowhere to run, Kale.
And now onto the final level of the game, which is only a boss fight.
That track 11 skip is my favorite because it reminds me of Ratchet & Clank games, where the exit is right at the beginning.
Yeah, the devs have somehow found a way to, I don't know, hide the endpoint at the beginning. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be found normally unless you didn't find these skips. But yeah. So, context for this, Chai's mind controlled right now. So instead, we got to play as 808 in order to break him out of that dazed state. Nothing too hard, just avoid some fire. Really good spawn, really good patterns actually for the fire spawn. Normally, or ideally, you want to just be able to run straight forward because I think the jumps are slightly slower, just by a few frames. But yeah, we didn't have to jump a whole lot there. Able to just go through. And now, very similar to the Mimosa boss fight, we want to fill the stagger meter as fast as we possibly can because if he's not staggered, he takes less damage, and then he's going to keep attacking. And he has some very annoying attacks that you probably should be parrying just because trying to damage boost for all of this, Chai probably won't live. Nice little break there. Probably gonna go for a partner assist. We're gonna go for the Peppermint again. And we do that specifically also. The benefit of doing the partner assist is that it bypasses a majority of Kale's attacks and it still stuns locks him. Of course, it does cost 25 meter, but it's well worth for having to keep the fight consistent.
See about that.
Oh, yes, we will.
All right, and now our favorite RNG section of the fight. So we got these little claws here. They are suspiciously color coded as per usual, but yeah. Except okay, so Kale just does two of the he did two of the the macaroon attacks. That's really good RNG. So he has either attacks that require the use of your partner in order to progress the level, or he does these normal attacks that basically stall the fight. This is the Peppermint one. Just one call of her will destroy the shield, and then we can go forth. And now we're just waiting for the Corsica arm. Okay, normal attack. This is only two normal attacks so far. Not the worst.
Let's hope that we keep it up with the partner
Didn't
attack.
have enough energy for that power core.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we actually bypassed the third arm entirely. That is very huge.
Awesome.
So we are now on the last part of the fight. So it's basically just a much harder version of the first fight. A lot of his attacks are now enhanced. A lot wider, as you can see right there. And this one particularly spawns fire unless you parry it. Yeah, there you go. And it's very important that we do these parries because doing the parries while you're up close to Kale will actually build up the stagger meter significantly. We're gonna do a lot of partner attacks here to build it up again. Let's see, do we get one more? We're gonna go for super, we're gonna go for a partner, we're just going to go for slamming our light button. And this is essentially the whole fight. Just a few more rhythm parries and then we are done.
Yep, the final QuickTime event input is going to be time when Chai is saying, and this is game over. We're so close. Yeah, it's about family, like Vin Diesel would say. And that is time.
Give us the password.
A very good run by Bolt. Not
Bolt
many.
clock, fantastic job.
Maybe so.
There are not that many mistakes, honestly. A lot of good showings with the WFGs, a lot of good boss, or just a lot of good fighting in general. Yeah, that was a good run. And yeah, we mentioned Kale was Peppermint's brother. You know, no hard feelings about
Totally exploding him.
Yeah, you know, just family things.
Nice. About a 2:05:40, Bolt. I imagine you have a more precise time on your splits. That was awesome. Can we get some hype in chat for Bolt Clock?
I think it might actually be a 2:05 on my end too. I remember starting my timer a little late, and my timer says 2:04:58.9. So, but you know, still a 2.5 minute PB. I'll take it.
That's incredible. That's
a
super
great
cool,
PB.
especially in this setting.
Yeah, I'm really happy considering my early game was kind of whack, but I golded 4 splits.
Oh
and my
gosh.
sum of best is now 158.
This is just a bunch of scrap metal now.
Nice,
That sub 2 hour is on the horizon.
I was
Wow.
there for a second, but I knew you could do it.
Look who's here.
That was such a cool showcase. Well done, Bolt Clock, and to get a PB out of it is just amazing at the end of it. You've had to stay quiet this whole time so that you can concentrate on the rhythm and the music. Now is your time. Talk to your audience. How are you feeling?
I have to think of what to say. I have to think of the words.
I apologize for putting you through all this.
Couldn't handle Miss Vanderlei.
One highlight of my
The same mistakes again.
run
If
was
possible, I'd like
getting
to
that track
It'd be
3,
an honor to work for the
chorus
company.
5 skip, the full test chamber skip
I admired.
in one try.
Welcome you with
I was so prepared to, you know, fall off the map and retry it and do a backup, but somehow I managed to hit it. I spent a whole hour practicing that strat yesterday, just that one strat alone. And I got it maybe 50% of the time,
That's what matters.
so I'm really, really happy that I got it this time.
Got a new partner too.
While it might not
And that little rock skip near the beginning as well, where I skipped 2 of the fights before going to R&D. I hit that pretty early too, and that's how
I
I
won't run away
got
this
it by
time.
a whole minute.
I understand what you always wanted for me. And the company.
Peppermint, you need to do things.
Thank you for all the GGs, thank you for all the hype.
Never change who you are.
So, as for shoutouts, I would like to give a shout out first and foremost to Ju Horse for
I think we have a lot.
introducing me to the Singapore speedrunning community. As small as our country is, our community is also pretty relatively small. So I'm really happy that GDQ got to we got to
I think you know yourself.
spotlight some of our runners at
Special.
GDQ Hotfix. So thank you, Nick, for inviting us on board for
I
that.
think that's the kind of
You're
editor
more than
we need
welcome.
right now. And
And
Project Armstrong needs an
thank you
ambassador.
to Fletcher and Moist Rock for your amazing commentary.
Star.
I was planning to mute the commentary so I could lock in on the run, but I realized that, hey, I was able to do it while listening to the commentary at the same time. I did end up going radio silent in the late game just to lock in, and yeah, it was worth it. It's really worth it. And there's one more runner that I'd like to shout out. It's Zem. You might know him for Ratchet & Clank speedruns on GDQ. He's the reason I started speedrunning. My first speed game was Ratchet & Clank, and that's why I was pretty amused when Moist Rock kept calling gears bolts, because bolts are the currency of Ratchet & Clank, and it's also where my name comes from.
Oh wow, lore.
Yeah.
We did have someone in chat much earlier asking about your name and the origin of it. So if that person's still there, they'll be happy to know that you've now given an explanation.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Nick.
I said someone in chat was asking about your name and the origin of it. So if they're still around, they'll be very happy to know that you've given an explanation for it.
Yeah. So the bolt in my name comes from Ratchet & Clank, and the clock. Well, if you've been on Newgrounds in the last 20 years or so, you might have seen some flash animations by a certain group called the Clock Crew. You might have seen references to Strawberry Clock. Yeah, that's the group I come from, and our group actually happens to have a special project coming this holiday. I'm not part of it, but I'm excited to see it come to fruition. And last but not least, our speedrun community for Hi-Fi Rush. You can find us on speedrun.com at speedrun.com/hi-fi_rush. That's HIFI_rush.
Fantastic. Fletcher, Moist Rock, have you got any shout outs or anything you wanna add?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you again, Bulk Clock, for having me. I have not commentated for a lot of runs, and I'm really excited to have had this opportunity to do that a bit more. Thank you for that awesome run of Hi-Fi Rush. If you want to find me anywhere, I'm on Twitch and Blue Sky and basically anywhere as Fletch is a Furry. And looking forward to seeing folks in person at AGDQ and to hosting there. If you see me there, feel free to say hi.
And I just want to, thank you again, Bolt Clock, for bringing me on board for the commentary. I haven't really done speedrunning in a while. Been very busy with life stuff, but yeah, it was a really great run to see. I'm glad I was able to watch and commentate. And also, again, the Hi-Fi Rush Discord is always available and has still people active and doing the runs. So thank you very much for that. And of course, if you're interested in this game, then I think it's still on sale. So yeah,
it's on sale right now. Yeah, I was gonna say it's. I highly recommend this game. We all do. Even though it's a rhythm game, don't be intimidated. It's very beginner friendly. It has a lot of accessibility features. It looks amazing. The music is such a banger soundtrack. And yeah, as Moist Rock pointed out, it is on sale right now for 40% off. So that's just under $20.
Well, this has been an incredible showcase. Congratulations on the PB. Congratulations on the run. Fletch, Moist, your commentary has been amazing. I'm gonna miss Fletch facts in future episodes. They've been amazing. So thank you for bringing it. And I'm sure chat will agree that blorf is now in everyone's vocabulary, and we'll be using that going forwards. So chat, please give it up for Bolt Clock, Fletcher's Furry, and the Moist Rock for this incredible showcase. Well done, everyone. And that is gonna be it for today's episode of Fast Travel. So a huge thank you to both runners, to Jonathan Irvings as well for the run of Pepsiman. Now, next episode in 2 weeks' time, it is Boxing Day, so it's the day after Christmas for you guys. By the time the episode starts, it's the day after Christmas for me. But as it's the end of the year, I thought we would do something a little bit special, and we are going to do a rerun tour. So we have got 3 runners from 3 locations that we already visited during Fast Travel this year. And since there has already been a little bit of mention of the name, I'm pleased to say the first runner who will be joining us is Dewhorse. We are going to be sticking in Singapore to have one more Singapore run. Dewhorse is going to be showcasing Mr. Mosquito. We're also traveling back to Canada, where we are going to have a runner from Canada, obviously, showcasing Quantum of Solace. It's a very British style game with James Bond, but it was developed in Canada. And then we are going to then finish off with my home country of the UK, where we are going to be playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So keep an eye on the socials for when more information about those comes out. Don't go anywhere. Stick around because there are more speedruns